Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share a story before we go any further. Just real quick, because this amused the hell out of me. Speaking as a WoW content creator, it amuses me how much content creators go out of their way to try and pull the same general, let's call it what it is, outrage griefing and grifting in order to try and generate clicks and views and ad revenue and sales. Trying to keep the attention and focus on them away from everyone else. It's a very old strategy, quite literally going back to Roman times. So it's at least 2 millennia that we know of. It sucks that it works. You know, human beings are negative associated, whatever. But the point is, most of those content creators are like, oh my god, FF14's dying. WoW is dying. There's so many evil, toxic people. There's so much trash in the game. I want to tell you a little story, because this is 100% true. You see right down there, there's a world quest there, which I have done now. It was to go ahead and loot some honey that was on the ground and defeat some enemies in the area, and then a boss. So here I am. I'm on my level 78. Most of the people running around there are 80s and clearly geared. You can tell just by looking at their health. Like, I've got 3.4 million health right now. You look at these people running around with 8, 9, 12 million health. They're geared. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I'm hopping down, and I'm worried about getting tags. There's this other person there's a demon hunter. And they go out of their way to, like, rush up, you know, pulse aggro some things, and then stop there and wait for me to get in range so I can get the tag. At which point they then kill them instantly in like one shot. And this kind of goes back and forth several times throughout the area. They were just being really courteous and helpful about letting me gain credit, because there's no detriment to them for that. And credit shares, because, you know, ever since Warlords, because of the changes they put in. So that was awesome. I should mention this was an Alliance character. This was a Night Elf Demon Hunter. I'm a Horde character. Then we get to the boss. You can't quite see it from here. You can kind of see there's a cave, like right over there somewhere. And you go into the cave and there's a boss. And there's someone killing the boss. And they're facing the cave entrance. And they see me coming. And the boss is at like 10% health. And I'm like racing. I'm doing this. I'm on my mount, like trying to get in range as soon as I can. And I noticed that they dead stick. For probably only about 2 seconds. But still, they just completely stop attacking all of a sudden. So that I can get in range. Fling my hammer as soon as I'm in range, and as soon as I fling the hammer, they go ahead and keep attacking and kill the boss, which I got credit for. 2 separate people went out of their way to be just kind of cool during a world quest, because some low-level level 78 was going through and was trying to do the quest with them. If you've been paying attention, this kind of thing has been happening on camera as we've been questing through both Dragonflight and War Within. And I just wanted to share that story because every time I hear one of those grifters constantly trying to bemoan about how awful the people are, or about how the MMOs are dying, or about how everything's terrible and how the community is this horrible toxic mess, I think about individual personal moments like that right there. Moving on. Plenty of good people out there. I would dare say they outnumber the other type.
Cinder bees. Stunning, yet perilous creatures. When their numbers surge, honey production halts, triggering extreme aggression instead.
Oh no. What do we do? Janky, what do we do? Alright. Need find way to get wax without die. Okay.
Bring back more shiny things.
Oh, fire bees bit bigger than Janky expected. Look mean. Other hives meaner though. This best spot. You go grab wax. Janky stay here to supervise, yes.
Oh, someone picky.
This not good. Fancy bees have mites. Janky's seen this before. Hive get infested, good bugs get sucked dry, and bad. Need do something. Blast bees with smoke. Make bees sleepy, but mites hate. When jump off, squish before they bite bees again.
Bring back more shiny things.
You got it, Janky. Oh my god, it's just straight up Shire music. Listen to it. What in the world? If someone just decided, you know what, let's just make this area awesome. And yeah, it's an elite subzone with elite bees, and it's like, you know what, here you go. Have fun. What's funny, I don't know if this is on purpose. So this is a grind subzone. They know this is a grind subzone. In other words, this is an area where you are intended to run around and be here for a fairly lengthy period of time, right? Going out of your way to make an area that's a grind zone pleasant, both audibly and visually, would make a ton of sense if it was done on purpose. Now, I don't know if that's true. But if you told me it was true, I would not be surprised. Yeah, there's literally a mount you can get over here. Next week, Wednesday or Thursday. Nice! Congrats, Zactaft. I'm really glad you're going through a swift and problem-free, is what I'm going to call that, recovery. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 900 pollen. It's for... this thing, I think? No, that's not it. This one. No, that's still not it. Oh my gosh. I've decided I want this mount. Miscellaneous Mechanica. Is it this one? Because this says it costs resonance crystals. In a somewhat surprising choice of a mount, the Council of Dornogal ensures you riding it is safe, mostly. Yeah, that says it costs 11,000 crystals. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's 900 pollen. Huh. I wonder if you can still get it for pollen. Oh, shoot. Ah! They are surprisingly detailed-looking bees, yeah. I might go for that. Does anyone who's, like, really bored want to help me just mulch these bees really quick? Just really quick. It's a world quest. It gives an 80 gear. And I need world quests in general to finish my Traveler's Log. Because, yeah, Cinder Bees are mean. I'm a Protodon, so I got that. But it's going to be slow going. I mean, it just makes a weird amount of sense, doesn't it? Ah, this music's amazing. Bees! That's the trap. That's the honeypot. Oh, nice. Oh, of course you got the void one. I knew you got the void one. Still, crats. Alright, hang on. These bees... do these bees give credit? They don't seem to be giving credit. No, I think these are the quest bees. We need the non-quest bees. Ah! We need the elite bees. Oh my god, I can't stop doing... Oh, I can stop. There we go. There we go. This stuff over here. I noticed stuff is spawning very quickly. The last time I was here, which was when I was leveling through this place was absolutely swarming, no pun intended, because lots of people were farming the bees, which makes sense, for reasons already described. I just realized something. I could buff Cure White Noise with this thing. I don't know if that does anything for her, but, you know. Yeah, why am I not showing already my buffs? Well, I might actually have talent to share buffs right now. Why not in about 7 seconds? Yeah, you see how Cure White Noise is just kind of mulching through these? That's sort of what I mean when I said that that 80 was here, destroying this stuff earlier. Did it look like that shared? It did. It did. It's not showing up on the thing, but it is there. Like, I even saw the graphic go out. I guess these don't give it. Damn it. Well, whatever. Enjoy the skidding. We are getting Cinder Pollen. Put that down there for now. And that's how ridiculous Prodernan is. The fact that I was able to hang there at all while she killed everything is just stupid. Those should have melted me. How many elites did I just pull into one pack? Like 8? That's not a complaint, by the way. I've said it before. Every tank is kind of in a pretty good space right now. Like, I was playing Warrior for whenever we were doing Warrior. I was honestly impressed by how well Warrior was hanging. Prot Warrior, I mean, specifically.
Thanks for your
One, and done. Thank you, Cure White Noise.
We can calm them down and guide them back.
That will help in about a level and a half. Put that down here to unlock when we hit 80. Sand Lane Blood Death Knight? Oh, that sounds amazing. Hello, Mr. Red. Oh, looks like I've already gotten those ones? Yeah, okay. I love how this quest is ultimately just helping the bees on behalf of a freaking kobold. Yeah, I think when I start to really push delves again, I might just start going tank. Obviously, I'll be doing it on this character, but I mean when I get back to my Demon Hunter, start doing the new delves. All these bees are already spoken for. Am I done with mites? Oh, I am done with mites. Oh, no wonder. I'm telling you, tanks are just in a really good spot right now. Don't do it, Mr. Red. Don't do it unless you've got to earn it, Mr. Red. I expect 1 additional minute. 1 minute of highlighting. What do you say? I mean, tank has always been kind of like that. And philosophically, we could debate if that's correct or not. It's not as bad as it is in some other MMOs. In some other MMOs, tanks don't just punch above their weights. Tanks remove the need for other classes. Because the discrepancy is so huge. I don't think that's true in WoW, personally. Like, there's still a point and a purpose to being in a group in a tank in WoW, you know? In some MMOs, it's literally better to bring a group of tanks. My favorite class overall? Demon Hunter. Followed very closely by Evoker. After that, I'd have to think. I'm the weirdo who really likes all the classes in WoW right now. Oh no! Well, no, like, you're right, because tanks are a lower skill floor than most other specs are, most of the classes. But they also have a much higher skill ceiling. Anybody who's played really hard stuff knows a really good tank can do stuff that is crazy. And frankly, they probably shouldn't be able to get away with. I'm going to admit that I will count myself in that category in the past. Not anymore. I haven't done really hard stuff. Well, okay, I have. But back... I'm good. Thank you, Kira White Noise. But, like, you've heard some of my exploits, right? Like, I earned my Amani Bear Mount in an ungeared warrior tank in an era where, like, it was Bear Paladin, Bear Paladin. But I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because I can speak from experience. I know tanking. I've tanked a lot in a lot of games, including this one. I've been tanking in this game since vanilla. And that's my point. Tanks have a really high skill ceiling. A really, really, really good tank can help cover for everything else if they really know what they're doing and they're on their game. And to me, that feels right. Having a low floor but a high ceiling is good design, right? Like, doesn't that sound right? You can feel free to disagree with me, because, like I said, this is kind of a philosophical thing.
Don't ask where I got it.
Yeah, I've seen that happen too, Pillars of Snow. On camera. Is fire bee wax hot enough to melt self? Ooh, make good candle. Jinky, sure.
I'll bring back more shiny things.
More important to make sure not take too much. Make sure hive healthy so can come back. Bees eat pollen, yes? So fire bees eat fire pollen, yes. Bring fire pollen to bees. Grow strong. Be productive. Be productive. Check edge of hive for flowers bees not get to yet. When catch fire, you got good one.
Oh, someone picky.
Mites kill fire bees. No good. Jinky hates mites. Bite you when not even stealing wax. Not even make wax. Give bees chance. Kill biggest, bitiest mite.
I find more stuff for you.
Wait, his name is Bee Biter? His name is Bee Biter. Big bully bug. Bite bees, be beaten. That's hysterical, Uthor. I'm sorry, that is hysterical. 1%. Bubble! Exactly, Pillars of Snow. I'm telling you, all that noise about how awful the community is exactly that. It's just noise. Oh man, I kind of want to push Warlock. Warlock's another one of those, like, if I was to do a tier list, Warlock would be in the A group. Not S, it's not like the best, but Warlocks are in such a great place. I like all three Warlock specs pretty equally. Honestly, Mage would be up there too, I think. Some of the classes have a couple of specs which I'm just kind of on. For example, Rogue, I like Subtlety and I like Assassin, but Outlaw is just not quite there. Similarly, in Priest, I know Discipline's amazing. I do get that. But at the same time, I just don't enjoy Discipline. So, Shadow, sure. Holy, sure. Discipline, eh. Yeah, I was talking about that in Discord. Mr. Red can attest to that during the lunch break. Because part of the reason I get that little diatribe right at the beginning about that awesome person who was helping me out. Not Kira White Noise, although she is awesome. But no, the person who was helping me out do the world quest was because there is such a non-stop cavalcade of toxic negativity coming from content creators who are trying to stir the pot to generate outrage, to generate clicks, to generate money. And it's just, I'm sorry, my real-life personal experience completely disagrees with you, you know? I mean, yeah, there's pricks. There's always pricks. Anybody who tells you there isn't pricks is selling something. But anyone who tells you that everyone is this toxic, horrible mess, ironically, is also selling something. But I'm getting off topic. To respond to Xavion's thing in person, I have seen the overall community of WoW, and this is merely from my perspective, although my perspective hasn't changed, just kind of get better in the last few expansions.
You need? I got.
And that's been pretty consistent.
Oh, someone.
With no candle almost ready, now all need to do is set up stall. Bring quality candle at good price to people. That, Tinky guarantee. Only problem, not have stall. You talk to Bosch and Gundargaz for me? He have everything we need. May need barter, but you talk good. Make him give parts. Meet you down there.
I find more stuff for you.
Hunter is another one which I'm not super into. I really, really like where Survival's at, and I love Beast. Marks is okay. And that's kind of where I'm at on that. I know, right, Wenlock? Yeah, I will freely admit, and you may absolutely smash me on this because this is my fault for buying into the nonsense, but one of the biggest reasons I was so anti-classic for so long wasn't because I'm anti-classic, quite the contrary. I've been in favor of the idea since Cataclysm. But the classic crowd, or I don't want to call it that, that's too generic. The classic toxic crowd, let's just call it exactly what it is, really pissed me off and never shut up. And I was just sick of it. I was so sick of hearing that nonstop garbage that I kind of became anti-classic. And honestly, I'll feel free to admit this, it took me a while to process that and kind of pull out of that and be, you know, where I am now, which is like, I'm actually 100% in favor of classic. And I know plenty of people who enjoy classic, and that's awesome. And the classic toxic crowd
What you have earned.
can go over there out the window. Is this for the kobold who was around earlier? I would be happy to help, but with shipments delayed across the board, I can't let it go for nothing. Tell you what, do me a favor, and the parts are yours. Talk to Brax, the innkeeper. Take care of my tab for me. He's been muttering about breaking my knees for months, and now I'm afraid he'll do something crazy. Like cut me off.
Have you purchased?
Dude, WoW. PAX keeps trying to convince me to actually turn WoW Seasons of Discovery specifically into one of our co-op games. I've considered it. So he roped you into paying off his tab, did he? Fine. You tell him I want payment in full by the end of the next shift or he's cut off. He is lucky I'm not charging interest. Is there something I can do instead? A quest, perhaps? Quest. Do I look like one of those starry-eyed Stormrider recruits? I may have something you can do for me, though, now that you mention it. That never-ending construction racket has been keeping my customers away, and I have precious few of those as is these days. If you can find a way to speed that along, I will call it even.
We must restore the machine.
I know, I'm not trying to say Seasons of Discovery isn't classic. I have no interest in classic. I poked at classic. I did. before this run, actually. I'm good. But Seasons...
Do you intend to idle all day?
So is there anything I can do to speed up repairs? Speed it up. You think I like being behind on repairs? We're working as fast as we can, but we're wearing out tools and aren't getting replacements. We'll be digging out rubble with a spoon at this rate. I appreciate Brax's situation and his cinder brew, but without proper tools, we'll be at this until we calcify. Bring me the replacements I ordered from Valika, and we'll be through this faster than Bosch through a fresh pint. I promise you.
You go wherever you please, don't you?
Okay, I can work that out. I think with enough coordination, the 501st could handle mages, Zaktav. If there's one thing that's consistent in most fiction is that having magic doesn't make you invincible, right? You know, vampires are strong, but if you know how a vampire works, you can work around that. You can plan and strategize and use their tools against them. Same thing with Ezo users, same thing with mages, same thing with Jedi, right?
Offering amenities.
Do you have any idea how many orders I have outstanding? I am doing what I can, but without ore to smelt or coal to burn, there's nothing I can do and half the mines are shut. I'm overdue for a shipment of coal. Bring it to me and we'll see about bringing it to Shalea's order sometime this century.
Another satisfied
Hey, this is just a supply chain from hell, isn't it? These people have never played Factorio. Or, you know, led a project. Oh, no kidding, Kraken-san. You know my biggest complaint about vanilla? It's the interface. You know my second biggest complaint about vanilla?
Outsiders detected.
Yeah, there's that wonderful rail curve. It's the time. It's the time investment. I just don't have that kind of time anymore. I haven't for years. I'm 42. You know? I know a lot of you understand what I mean by that. Yeah, vanilla is very, very slow. And that can be appealing. You know, nice, chill, play through it. But it does mean playing a fairly lengthy period of time while accomplishing nothing. Or very, very little. Yeah, actually, I have a theory. I don't want to go too much into this because I know you hate it when I talk about real life stuff. But I have a theory. It's not actually the fact that we're getting older. It's the fact that the world is getting worse. I mean, having to work 2 jobs in order to pay the bills. You know? Or maybe you only work 1 job, but your commute is terrible. So that's hours every day eaten up just going from point A to point B. Or maybe you work 7 days a week, 9 hours a day, just to be able to pay the bills. You get it. Yeah, Seasons of Discovery has a nice X boost built in. And of course it has the alternate abilities things and the new dungeons. And it looks cool. I do actually want to try it out for real sometime. So the Count asks, any interest in Classic Plus? The idea of Classic Plus makes me interested, but I'm not sure what they would specifically do with it. As with most things, it would depend on the details. For example, let me use a specific thing. If you take a lot of the interface quality of life things from WoW Retail and dump that into WoW Classics content, that admittedly has some appeal to me. Even something like the way this talent system works. Obviously, it's different talents in vanilla, but the system in place, the previews, the mouse overs, the smart tooltips, being able to rewind the left, the right, or both, being able to smart rewind on demand, being able to being able to save loadouts, being able to share loadouts, like a lot of the interface aspects of the talent could be conked down into Classic with the Classic talents. Content of Classic, presentation of Retail. That kind of idea admittedly appeals to me, but I know a lot of people who would push back against that. So I'm not sure what Classic Plus would actually be. So here's your coal.
Your next task, purchase something.
Feisty. That should keep the forge nice and hot. Take these. That should get
Enough.
Shalea and her crew moving.
We all have our tasks.
Here's your tools. Thanks, I won't be needing the spoon then. Tell Brax will be out of his wire in no time. And make sure he keeps some of his cinder brew hot for us.
Watch your step.
Seriously, Kraken-san. I'm telling you, these people have never played Factorio.
Do you need something?
God bless. My head's ringing like an overworked anvil from the constant noise. Fair's fair. Tell Bosch I won't cut him off. For now.
Back
Anyways.
to work.
Begrudgingly poured cinder brew.
Your next task.
Oh, watch us above. Time for a celebratory mug of cinder brew, if I do say so myself. Take the parts, no charge. You've done me and my parched throat a great service today.
Another satisfied customer.
That does sound like a Ridicron.
It's not junk. It's treasure.
Good talking. Make great merchant one day. Like Janky.
Oh, bring back more shiny things. Go ask where
So-
we got it.
These are actually buffs. Occasionally do fire damage while attacking. Provides comforting light in darkest time, increasing movement speed and reducing shadow damage. And summon a waxling to defend you for 1 minute. I just kind of like the fact that one of these quest chains leads you to purchasable regional buffs. I don't know. Cool idea. All this crap. Wait. Okay, we're okay. Had to double check myself on that.
Oh, someone picky.
Honestly, I'm actually with you on that Pillars of Snow. The fact, when they first announced they were, like, shuttering BC Classic for Wrath Classic, my first reaction was a very obvious and loud, why? Like, isn't the point of Classic to be able to play it as is? If it's Wrath Classic, then it's not BC Classic anymore. Like, why would you do that?
I know, do it.
Thank you, Hordor. Have new home because you have future.
You remember?
That's actually really cool. You take time to learn about us. Not everybody does. Now we part of Gundargaz. Have new home and new friends. We learned about them while you helped learn about us. You good kobold friend. Thank you. I hate to keep pointing this out, but it's not a server issue. The cost and physical server space is a complete non-issue for something like that. You give me some time and some work, I could actually produce receipts proving that too. Trust me, speaking as an ex-network tech, that's not the issue. No, I think it's a philosophy thing. It's a deliberate thing. I think, who said it?
Someone didn't get the
Was
message.
it you? It was you, wasn't it? It was you, Pillars No. I think it's just a FOMO thing. I think it's trying to push people into Classic. They're like, hey, play BC, but it's going away soon. Just so you know. Soon it will be gone, and then you'll never get to play it ever again. FYI? Hello? Can I kill you, please? Oh, me too, Pillars No. Me too. Not that I have any interest in Classic. Yeah, Diablo 3 season mechanics. Exactly. Those season mechanics are cool, interesting, fun, and most importantly of all, temporary. Cool. They are optional. I'll give you that. Still irritating, though, because, like, they usually come up with some fun stuff for the seasons. Not always, but I played quite a few of them because it was just interesting. Alright, Huthor. I'm ready. Hi, Brigwin. I glomp Brigwin. Glomp, 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 glomp. Fire glomp. Sorry. I know. PDA. Ah!
You don't look busy enough.
79. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright. Second to last talent, which I'm not going to use. Melanian? Alright, let's... let me jot down some notes. Hang on, because we just did some quests. Yeah, actually, that doesn't sound good. And speaking of someone who likes onions... No. Anybody want to hear my biggest stupid complaint about the WoW review so far? I'm running out of ways to say this is good. It's like, this is good quest design.
You are acknowledged.
Greetings, Outlander. You must be the problem solver I've heard about. I am Caretaker Batsvara. I tend to earthen who have gone into stasis, like our friend here. By the way, he decided his final moments would be spent in that pose. I often patrol Brunwind's Terrace to honor my fellow earthen with an offering of cinder brew. Recently, however, I've drawn the attention of a local species of moles. They have a nose for sweets and greedy claws for all else. You look like you can defend yourself. Will you accompany me to pay respect to those who have gone into stasis?
Stay productive.
Let's do it. What's over there? This quest design has fulfilled the edicts of good quest design, including having this kind of mossy, pseudo-fungal, like just wild enough to look like overgrowth without being too much grass on the ground. Seriously, look at that! Alright, moving on. You are guarded and revered. Be at peace. Once again, it does say something about them, what pose they decide to pause in. Because a lot of them decide. Yeah, moss is usually quite icky. Mild point of amusement I've been noticing this particular playthrough is that Walker continues to be awesome. I don't know how he manages it. Thank you for the sub, Walker. I'll put that towards FF7R1, Chained Echoes, and Gravity Circuit. That's right, it's the money. It's the money. No, for real. So many of the... So I have world quests unlocked by virtue of being an alt. So many of these quests are world quests. So I've been double dipping this entire time. Brax's favorite cog. The teeth are shiny and well worn. Most likely rubbed for good luck. Basement stuff. Basic cleaning. Dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on. There we go. Let's see if we can grab a few more while we're up here. Need more wax. I can't get any more wax. Okay, we're good. Brax's left shoe. You think he would have noticed its absence? I mean, it's entirely possible that Azeroth is a Titan. And just a Titan of a different flavor or variety. I mean, Titan is a species, and as we've seen plenty of times, species can vary a little bit. It's just a little. Why, I know someone who can't stand the taste of chicken. They say it's slimy. I mean, as I've said a few times, order isn't really bad. It's too much order is bad. Just like too much anything is bad, you know? I will admit, I don't have any particular speculation on what Azeroth is at this point. It's certainly an interesting question. If anything, something someone mentioned earlier today kind of stuck with me. The idea that Azeroth might just be everything. All the elements, pretty much in balance. And I'm not just saying that because I wrote that in Our Diablo. Although I did. Our Diablo plug. Damn it, Walker. Look, I already said you're awesome. You don't need to bribe... tip me anymore. You gotta be more subtle about it, Walker. I do appreciate you, Walker. Thank you. Walker's in Our Diablo as well. One of my voice actors. Pretty sure. Man, I'm suddenly questioning that. It's been a long time since I've actually sat down and worked on any of that. Been too busy to really actually continue it, other than just outlining and designing. I mean, I can't even decide how the heck Voyager gets into the Delta Quadrant. That would bother me, Hooper. That would be an almost guaranteed and immediate negative.
Thank you for doing what needed to be done.
Like, seriously. Don't make Azeroth evil. Just don't do that. Like, that's probably actually the worst thing they could do at this point. Yeah, that would just be like, okay, that sucks. Let's see. Yeah, you voiced the Finn soldier and the Palametian soldier in RFF2. Oh, hey, guess what? I actually keep record. I actually keep records so I can track who's voiced what. Go figure. Yeah, that would be Shadowlands too. I honestly think that would be worse than Elune being a robot. Like, it doesn't really bother me that much if Elune is actually a robot, because everything's a robot in this setting. That's whatever. As long as there's no first ones, that would bother me. Where is the last Earthen? No, that's it. Azeroth Wakens, and she's written by all of the Twitter users who tweet about WoW. There we are. I remember you playing the Triforce of Power, yeah. Yeah, Azeroth Awakens. Wog! Okay, that would be awful if they did that seriously. But actually really funny if they did that as a joke. Now, think about it for a second. Azeroth wakes up. Time for some crumpin'! Heavy metal music starts playing. And Azeroth just goes around, like, kicking the crap out of everything and everyone. Yep, Azeroth is both Gork and Mork.
More work?
Which beast did I punch with those knuckles last?
Always another.
That's the genius of the knuckles. They keep your hands intact. Right.
You know what to do.
Oh, no, no, Huthor, no! Come on! And it's ruined, just like that. Oh, dude, Dakota.
Please, proceed.
Gratitude expressed. Your reputation as a stalwart ally is well deserved.
Returning to work.
West of Gundergaz is another green space, a lovely area with waterfalls and terraces. My schedule takes me in that direction next, and I would be very glad of your company to help deal with the wildlife there as well. If your other duties are not pressing, let us meet there.
Praise the machine.
I don't hate Age of Sigmar as a setting. I kind of can't, because my only exposure to it was an extremely bad game. Like, I think Age of Sigmar is still in the bottom 5 range for the whole of every game I've reviewed. It was a really bad game. Like, it wasn't even a funny bad game. It was a frustrating bad game. Probably tomorrow, Dr. Nimbus.
Begin speaking. Remain vigilant.
Welcome, stalwart colleague, to Shimmermist Falls. It's always damp here, a thriving paradise for green living things. Unfortunately, it's also the perfect climate for moss to grow on my inert earthen charges. We'll need to gather a few supplies for removing moss. First we need a sponge. It needs to be soft enough to not damage them, but strong enough to hold up to an earthen's rough stone skin. The caps from the lash rooms are perfect.
Returning to work.
Down among the creeping lashrooms grows an orange flower. When mixed with water, it blooms and makes a caustic solvent that is perfect for removing moss. I also left a bucket last I was here, which I used to make the solvent. Something seems to have made off from it. Could I delegate the task of gathering these to you? I will wait here.
Remain vigilant.
Sure. Weirdly enough, I've said this story before. I didn't know Warhammer Fantasy came before Warhammer 40k because the first thing I was introduced to was 40k via the video games. And then, you know, I came aware of Warhammer Fantasy much later. The significance of that is that I think overall I actually enjoy the setting of Warhammer Fantasy better from what little I know. But, well, there's only really one game I've played, two games I've played that sit in that, and I only enjoyed one of them. That would be Vermintide, by the way. By contrast, there's quite a few 40k games that I have enjoyed, so... Because, yeah, 40k lore is, as presented in the video games, not something I'm a big fan of. Interestingly enough, we'll be playing Space Marine 2 in probably a month or two. So we'll see how that one holds up. By the way, you'll notice we just got a quest to loot one item, and lo and behold, it's got a bad drop rate. More unique than fun. It sounds interesting. I had some issues with Space Marine 1, more than I thought I would, and I'm not counting the severe bugs we had. Because we had some severe bugs. Yeah, I've already predicted that the plot of Space Marine 2 is going to be, alright, we're fighting the Tyranids, but suddenly chaos! And I don't even want anybody to answer that, because I'm probably right. Good afternoon, Evo. Yeah, the Chaos Gods came from fantasy. I've been told that originally they weren't the unstoppable inevitabilities of the settings. I don't know. My knowledge of it doesn't go that far back, honestly. Oh yeah, by the way, fresh plug for Shoota's Blood and Teeth, if anybody wants to play it. It's got its issues, but it's still silly fun, and it's short enough to just be a quick romp. Fight! 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 Sorry. Yeah, there's a line in Dawn of War 2 which has stuck with me for a while. I don't remember the exact line, because of course I don't. But it boiled down to, there's no hope, there's no future, there's no point in anything. And I remember looking at that and be like, yeah! In the game it was being used as an excuse for someone giving into chaos, but honestly, I'm just sitting there like, yeah! This is... So that bug was wearing the bucket as a hat, in case you missed that.
Another interruption. Praise the machine.
These lashroom caps make for perfect sponges. Perfect balance of squishy and absorbent.
Stay productive.
The acidity from the plants is strong enough to remove the moss, but gentle enough to not harm the earthen. Plus it has a pleasing smell to it. Almost like sulfur. That says a lot about your scenting preferences.
Praise the machine.
Ah, I smell the sulfur from here. Thank you for gathering the bucket and blooms. Not everyone shares my taste, but I enjoy a bowl of lightly seared magma in an igneous bowl, especially when the fumes are particularly sulfurous. What? You've never tried it? To each their own.
Stay productive.
By the way, I already said it in Discord, but grats, Papa Nate. That's an interesting question. Will Rogue Trader, the video game, have rock and roll in it? Like, what music, what soundtrack do they go with?
Earthen usually know when they're shutting down. These friends made a pact to strike a final pose together. Thank you for honoring them.
Yes, sorry, that's why I made it clear I was talking about the recent video game, not, you know, Rogue Trader, the rule set. Yeah, speaking of this zone looking awesome.
Please, proceed.
Uh-oh. Bregman found one of the ride armors.
Remain vigilant.
Assigned tasks complete. I'll check back on these folks in my next scheduled patrol. There's one more Earthen I must tend to today. He was very special to me. You've been especially considerate, so I'd like you to see him. Let's travel west a bit, closer to the falls.
Returning to work.
Yeah, by the way, I actually didn't like Darktide that much. For reasons I don't want to bore you with. But if there's one thing I liked about Darktide, it was the frickin' soundtrack. Oh my god. They kind of nailed that. Whoop, whoop. Who could do this? Where have they gone?
Begin speaking.
You made it. She looks at the outstretched hand of the Earthen next to her and sighs. I admit I am quite disturbed by what I found here. Your presence is a comfort.
Stay productive.
This is Osgazur. His hands is usually full of a selection of his favorite gems. We don't really know what it's like when we go into stasis, but he wanted to spend his last moments contemplating the natural beauty of Azeroth and her bounty. I'm afraid someone or something has made off with the jewels he usually holds. Let's look around, see if we can find any clues where he may have gone to.
Praise the machine.
Wax. I mean, Jesper Kide is legit, so no shockers there. But yeah, like, in terms of actual fun playing the game, Vermintide 2 just kind of destroys Darktide. Like, it's not even close. Exactly, Luthor. Someday Darktide might actually be a good game. Who knows? Operation Floodgate is here? Sorry, the thought process there was, that's not a dungeon. Wait, there's a meeting stone next to it. That has to be a dungeon. Pull up map, zoom in, Operation Floodgate. Huh? I thought it was off in the Underbind. Oh, dude, absolutely cracking sense. Speaking of which, who is looking forward to Mechanicus 2? Now, I could be misremembering, because I know one of them mentioned they were adding co-op. But if they added a Mechanicus game with co-op, yes! I forget if that's the one or if there was another one. Yes, I'm not actually joking. There is a Mechanicus 2 in development. They've already showcased it a little bit. The problem... So, okay. I should mention I'm not a gargantuan fan of Mechanicus 1. Mechanicus 1 had several issues. It got a little bit too samey. It was a little bit too long. At a certain point, you know, you're just kind of like, okay, here's another mission, which is the same as the previous mission. It was really high quality, but as I've said before, the higher the quality just makes you be able to deal with it longer, right? At some point or another, you do get bored. You need some kind of variety. Mechanicus was very good. I love the way they do the AP system. I love the way they do a lot of choose how exactly you want to progress through the mission. Like, even on just a moment-to-moment turn-based thing, there's a lot of decision-making. But it's kind of always the same mission, and eventually it just gets old. There you are, my friend. Wax free. I wasn't even going to mention the fact that the soundtrack is bonkers good. Story was interesting, too. The voice acting. Ooh. Oh, yeah, no, the action economy is the best part of the game. I mean that sincerely.
You are acknowledged.
It's hard to even put it into words without just going through. It's a fairly complex system, but really easy to pick up. You spend AP to do things. Certain things you do give you back AP, even on the turn in which you're still going. So you can chain and chain and chain and chain if you're really careful about it. And so the game really encourages you to think about your moves. It's great.
Returning to work.
Kobold's made off with his gems. This is unacceptable. We must recover the rest of his jewels.
Remain vigilant.
So, I didn't realize the waterworks was under attack. Our timing is lucky for the defenders down below. We must get those jewels back. I'll stay here and guard the remaining gems, but I implore you a critical task. Retrieve the rest.
Praise the machine.
The kobold mentioned Glintwick, did he? Sounds like she's the driving force behind the gem thieves. I'll bet she's got the last gem. Look for her in the waterworks.
Returning to work.
Yeah, honestly, a little bit of refinement, and Mechanicus would be in the running for, like, the best XCOM style game I've played. We'll see what Mechanicus 2 does. That's true, we haven't, you're right. And I also haven't played old XCOM yet. And by old XCOM, I mean open XCOM. So we're long since done with the MSQ. We have the quest to go to the hallowed place of whatever it's called. Some hallow something, I don't know, I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, I've noticed the side quests here are fine. But it's noticeably not as good. Like, I'm still having fun, but I mean, there's a reason we're discussing Warhammer right now, you know? Yes, we're doing side stuff. We'll probably hit 80 before we're done with side stuff. Which means we'll be able to start thinking about dungeons and delve. Does anyone know the item level requirement to do heroics, by the way? Asking for a friend. 1 second, spirit of reluctance. Yep, dungeons. Oh my god, Esmira Star. I mean, you're right. You are a correctitude. No, I'm gonna wait till I'm 80 to do dungeons. I might wait until I can do heroics to do dungeons. I haven't decided yet. I know what you're thinking. But lar! I'm a gnome now. But also, why would you do heroics to judge the dungeons? Won't that skew the review? Yes, and that's why I'm not actually going to do those heroics for the purposes of review. I know that sounds strange, but I'm going to do follower dungeons to review. The same as I always have, because that's the part of the dungeon that's going to still be here in 5, 10, 20 years. $606. Thank you, Kira White Noise. That's higher than it used to be, although I suppose that makes sense. I don't know how doable that is without access to Siren Isle. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Well, as I say, we've got delves, which we will be doing as we go. Delves we can do with a group. There's no detriment to doing that. Favorite hero spec flavor-wise. So I haven't seen that many, regardless. But I'd say pure flavor? The Four Horsemen one for Death Knight. That's the one. Riders of the Apocalypse. Like I said, that's why I was specifically thinking about flavor there.
Begin speaking.
Excellent work, though they're not meant for much. Though they're not worth much monetarily, these gems meant a great deal to Osgazur. I am glad he will no longer be parted from them.
Stay productive.
Ah, you did it. You found the last gem. I'm glad that Glintwick will no longer be after Osgazur's gems. This particular gem was his favorite. It's not faceted like the rest. He could always find beauty in flawed things. He would show me this one and marvel at its hue and potential. He never wanted it buffed or shined. She is silent for a moment, then looks at the grey earthen beside her. Ah, Osgazur, you never cared what I looked like either. You saw my potential. I miss you, friend.
Remain vigilant.
Here you are, my friend. May your sight be filled with their beauty once more. I haven't technically tallied all of Dorne up yet, I don't think. Hang on. Well, maybe I have. I think there's like a couple of positives I haven't jotted down, but at the moment, Isle of Dorne is a net plus 35. Which I know that number doesn't mean a lot to you, but so let me give you some comparison points. Drustvar was 32. Nazmir was 34. Ardenweald was 28. Revendreth was 22. So let's pull this forward to like Dragonflight, right? Because obviously that's where our competition is. That would actually put it pretty far down. It would put it above the Onaran Plains and above Theldrassus. But below Zarlik Caverns and way below Waking Shores, Azure Span, and Emerald Dream. As a reminder, the Emerald Dream is currently our best zone at 60 freaking 4. So, sorry, that was a lot of numbers. Let me summarize that. About midway quality compared to Dragonflight. Better than several, not as good as the best. And yeah, that sounds about right. As I said earlier, it really is telling just how much better Dragonflight and War Within are, that their worst crushes everything before it, with very few exceptions. Let's do this quest.
The clouds above the living grotto are full of rich, useful minerals. Get up there and gather some.
Sure. I can do that. This is how you go farming, right? Yeah, we still haven't reached the really good zones. I have a feeling the creeping deeps will end up... ringing deeps,
Nicely
excuse me.
done. We'll put those minerals to good
Specialist
use.
eminent one. I have a feeling that the ringing deeps will actually end up being a bit better than the Isle of Dorn. But yeah, the last two zones are going to be the ones to eyeball. The question for me in the back of my mind is, will Zone 3 or Zone 4 be able to beat the colossi of Waking Shores, Azure Span, and Emerald Dream? Wait, there's 5 earthen mounts, Dr. Nimbus?
You need a hammer? Or an open hand?
What's Fearbreaker? Fearbreaker's a hammer. It's not any hammer, but the ancestral hammer of the Bronzebeard clan. It's been wielded in battle both on Azeroth and on Outland. But more importantly, Fearbreaker has its own opinions and feelings about how it should be used. I don't know how my father lost it, but he wasn't at his full strength at the time. Now, to be clear, I don't want Fearbreaker. I don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. We're gonna get it back and return it to Magni.
We will survive.
We
We always
to
do.
see Fearbreaker here. Yeah, it's right over there. Actually, you can see it right there. It's really here, but it isn't exactly within easy reach.
I dismiss you. The 3 hammers stand as one.
Berund here says the massive beast standing over the Fearbreaker is very particular about what kind of creatures it allows near it. Yeah, by the way, that's, I can't remember what they're called. It's the thing from Warlords. If we blend in, we can get close enough to nab the hammer, but to blend in, we gotta get covered by the dust and pollen of the grotto. Those lashrooms look like they're a good place to start. Genesaur, thank you. It all seems suspicious to me, but for now, we'll play along.
You may take your leave.
You don't look busy
Who
enough.
are you? My name is Garund. I am called Gleaming because of how I shine. I am a hero of great daring do and renown, you see. Wherever there are problems, I am here to fix them. Oh god, yeah, I just recognize this quest too. Now we have a problem here in the Ringing Deeps with the Skarden, and I intend to do everything I can to root them out. I will use any tool or any method that seems fit for my strong hands. And yeah, by the way, he's about twice our height, and I know that's kind of an unusual, it's like, yeah, okay, and this is Warcraft, but no. Outside of dungeons, raids, and, scenarios, their heights are specific, so he really is just a giant earthen.
Stay productive.
When the magic hammer fell into the deeps, I knew it could be a formidable weapon against the Skarden menace. Your friend has told me it's particular about its wielder. Fortunately, I am a hero, and as a hero, I know how to get close to it. We need to have a good mix of pollen and water plastered onto us. That way, the beast standing over there will think we'll just like it. The mineral water has to be the exact right temperature to mix with the lashroom dust and blend in.
Keep me informed.
Okay, sure. Yeah, he's a big boy. So let's see. Earthen mounts. We've got the ram. We've got the ride armor. What else is there? Help me out here, Dr. Nimbus. If we count the bees, that's bees, so up to 3. The Stormbird. Okay, so we've got the Stormbird. Which I do actually have that mount. Do you... Oh, whatever. So we're up to 3. Stormrooks. Stormrooks, Rams, and Riders. I do not have a Ride Armor, no. Which I'm very sad about. I like Mega Man. The Mechs is the Ride Armor. Oh, and the Bees, so we're up to 4. So what's the 5th? These blasted last rooms and their accursed spores. I feel like my eyes are never gonna stop itching. Yeah, help me out. What's another one? I can't think of one. Anyways, of those 4, I'd obviously prefer the Ride Armor. And I'm going to be really honest, it's because I like Mega Man. Ignoring that. This water doesn't seem to be the right temperature for Old Birund. We'll have to go for deeper in. You got this, Pillars of Snow. Alright, I'm putting $5 down that Pillars of Snow is about to die horribly. What am I bid? What am I bid? Yeah, speaking of events I'm not a big fan of, The Awakening the Machine. What a freaking disappointment. Like, I was excited when I first saw it, and then the first thing I saw was that it's solo only, which immediately reduced that excitement level. Then I actually did it, and it was just like, oh. Okay. That sucks. Yeah, no, it feels extremely unfinished. I think that Fearbreaker would make a good weapon against Scarlet. You know, only certain people it likes, right? I mean, like it or not, as a project lead, sometimes you need to say, nope, we're cutting off that. The water's too warm. You want to be a water that's just right.
Your quota.
You want Fearbreaker for yourself.
I'm still working. Are you leaving?
My mother told me a story about 3 bears once. It didn't turn out well for the dwarf who stole from them. Alright. The big beastie and the hammer so close.
Do you intend to idle all...
I am a hero of great renown throughout the ringing deeps. I have trained and honed my shape to be the best. This scarred and menace must be quelled. I will do this, and that hammer will be an excellent weapon to wield against them. It should be in the hands of someone who will use it for good, don't you think?
If that is all.
Okay. Have you gathered up the dust? It's the only way you're going to get near that hammer, especially with the creature wandering around.
You go wherever you please.
Baron the Gleaming does not have a speck of pollen on himself. You got yourself good and covered. I'm a bit surprised you're not itching and sneezing like your friend here. Yeah, I'm made of stone.
If that is all.
Literally, I am literally made of stone. But even scatting out the beast. Let's hope this is enough. I want to get the hammer back to Magni. Yeah, exactly, Kraken-san. Like, I understand, really, that development is a zero-sum game. Every bit of time you spend on something is time you do not spend on something else. If they looked at the Awakening thing and said, guys, this isn't coming together, let's spend more time on something else, that was honestly probably the right call. Yes, thank you, Sturdy. Sorry. You are absolutely correct. I apologize. I am so terrible and stupid. So that's going towards SteamWorld block. I'm looking forward to Loop Hero. That's another one I'm looking forward to. And Morrowind. That's... I don't want to say I'm looking forward to that. More like I'm curious how that's going to review. Either way, thank you for your patience and for being part of the show. Starting Reluctance. And for reminding me.
Let's get down to business then.
I do a run through at the end of the night just to... Because I actually got a log over there to track that kind of thing. And I'm just to make sure that I don't miss anything. But I do appreciate you reminding me.
Mind yourself,
now.
champion. We need you.
That was a right pain. We'll get the water he asked for. Time to get a move on. I don't want me father's hammer to just languish in the mud. That doesn't sit right with me.
May your hammer strike true.
There's a creature standing between us and the hammer. It certainly made an impact when it landed in the deeps, didn't it? Look at the size of that crater. With the pollen and water splashed on you like this, you should be able to approach the beast and theoretically not be harmed. But if it does turn aggressive, don't worry. I'll be right behind you. You know, I've always wondered, how did it get down here? Oh, there's actually a hole right there. What do you know? Never mind. Question answered, I suppose. Hang on. Let me check the question bot here. Oh, yeah. Don't let me forget to tell you a funny story about the zones in a minute.
Keep me informed.
Ah, there it is. Whoop. Hang on. First, let's do what is clearly not a trap. Oh no! He's stealing it! I'm so shocked by this development. No hard feelings. I'll do great things in your memory with this hammer. Yes, son of a pebble! Hang on, I gotta deal with this thing. You don't have to. No, I really do. I've seen these things before. Yeah, I'm so shocked by this extremely obvious betrayal. Yeah, I know, right? It's actually funny. This could be so close to being a cutscene incompetence negative, but we're soloing a Genosaur. You know, the elites of the Botany. Yeah, hang on, I got this. Flunk, flunk.
Have you heard anything I need to know?
I thought you didn't want Fearbreaker. I don't. I didn't. But the Black Anvil, I don't have time to think this through right now. It's clear people are in danger. The hammer's not where it ought to be. We can talk about this later. Okay, that works out.
I dismiss you.
That ember-sucking, slime-spined travesty of an earthen. I'm at trogs with Morana. He took Fearbreaker. He took my family's hammer and left us to die. This cannot stand. I'm not allowed to disrespect you or me.
We will survive.
Wait, we exist?
We always do.
That gravel-brained ingrate. He took Fearbreaker and ran north. It's not that I don't want the hammer for myself. I don't. But it belongs to the Bronze-Bearded clan. It should be in the hands of someone who respects its power. I need to track him down before he hurts himself. Or someone else with that hammer.
If you hear anything I note, let me know.
No thoughts, Dr. Nimbus. I pointed out... Yeah, I know. Amber-sucking, slime-spined travesty. What a phrase. So, Fearbreaker clashed here. It does not seem intentional. Energy crackles from where Fearbreaker struck the earth. The hammer seems to be resisting its wielder. Yeah. Now, my only thought I have is what I've already mentioned when we fought that Botany boss all the way back up in the Isle of Dorn. They're clearly leaving hints that the Botany might come back if they ever want to do anything with them. I don't think they're doing that as a foreshadowing. I think they're just giving themselves options. That's my thoughts on that. So Kraken-san asked... Whoop. Something that reset the board. There we go. Do you think they'll ever merge the Horde and Alliance into what amounts to be a mega faction? Not in lore, but in gameplay, where you can cross over to the other territory. At this point, I think that's more likely than it's ever been. They've been putting a lot of effort into breaking down the barriers between the two factions for a couple years at this point. And it also... They've been more willing to question things in terms of philosophy, concepts, design, etc. than they've ever been right now. So between those two things, it wouldn't surprise me so much if they do it. The problem they've been running into, and this is one of the reasons I say that the HVA has been a weight around the developer's neck for years, is the faction system is so central and so centric to the game's code that it's why they've been very slowly pulling those barriers down over time. Also, you'll notice every time they do, there's at least a few bugs from it, when there shouldn't be. Like, there's no logical reason. But the faction system is so ingrained into the engine, I would go so far as to say, that they're having issues with it. I actually was looking at someone, this is speculative, but the idea here is, you're probably wondering, why would that kind of code be so centric to the engine of the game? Because WoW was built off of Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 is a factional game at its fundamental core. That's how Warcraft 3 operates, right? There's, each player is functionally a different faction within a given map. Understand? That's what I mean when I say it's really, really, really down at the very baseline of the code, because I think that the Horde and Alliance are, in gameplay terms, in coding terms, Player 1 and Player 2 from a Warcraft 3 map. And so fixing that so that Player 1 and Player 2 are the same player or coexist with each other, that's a thing to try and overcome. If you remember, StarCraft 2 didn't manage that until Legacy of the Void. And also StarCraft 2 came out a lot later after Warcraft 3. That's what I think is the fundamental issue here. And I've seen a few other people speculate on the same general concept. Having said that, yeah, they have taken a lot of steps to try and just kind of push that together. I think, my take, the easiest way, if they ever really want to do that, the easiest way to probably do it is to have there be an NPC you talk to who gives you a flag that kind of turns you into an Alliance character temporarily, or turns you into a Horde character temporarily. You literally get a buff right up here. It says, you are currently with the Alliance, right? Whee! And now you can go to Stormwind and do human quests, right? Something like that. Yeah, a passport system, exactly. That would probably be a lot easier than actually bringing those barriers down completely to the point where they don't exist.
Are you here to chat or work?
These Earthen are having a bad time of it. Baron's already run headlong in there. But if he was hoping to clean up the ills of the place, he's clearly in over his rocky head. Look, he can barely hold his own Fearbreaker. What if he drops it and it's killed? Oh, we need to find him.
We will survive.
The Baron took Fearbreaker for himself. I suppose he thought he could save these people, be the hero. But you can't go about doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. I know, from experience. If a rock is hollow to begin with, it can never be solid again, no matter how hard you try. Oh, you know, Moira.
Mind yourself, champion. We need you. May your hammer strike true.
Looks like the destruction around the coreway rattled loose more than just a few stones down there. It stirred up all kinds of dark things. If this was a thriving mining operation, it ain't anymore. Okay, let's get this thing under control.
Three hammers stand as one.
And yeah, Huthor is correct. Once again, development is a zero-sum game, so how much is it worth to make that happen? I think what I would do is I would sit down and carefully think about what else I want from cross-faction, and then try to turn that into a wish list and chip away at it over time. So right now, for example, we can group with other people, we can quest with other people, we can do dungeons with other people if we go there manually. We can raid with other people if we go there manually. And I'm pretty sure we can do delves with other people. Someone check me on that, please. So at this point, one of the only features we can't really viably, thank you, Uber, do with the other side is queue. You know, I would like to do a random time walking. I would add that to the wish list. I do think that's something that would be a good addition. Apparently you can queue with a full group. I did not know that. Oh, you're here. Thank goodness. The hammer, it just... Oh, you bloody thief. You're lucky we weren't far behind.
Have you heard anything I need to know? You may take your leave.
That's a mite better. At least there won't be so many of those creatures running amok. We've got other problems. We've got Scarden.
I dismiss you.
Make it quick. We're busy.
Nice, Bumpany. Congrats. His gleaming skin is chipped and damaged. His eyes can barely focus. He is near to death. Every time I tried to use the hammer, it just got away from me. I could have saved people with it. I don't...
Watch your step.
I knew I couldn't take this garden without help. I thought if I just had the hammer, then nothing would stop me. I had to have it, you see, or else maybe I wasn't who I was made to be. But it kept slipping out of my fingers, like it didn't want anything to do with me. It fell out of my hands at the worst moment, and now... It's clearly not mine. It never was. I'm sorry.
Back to work.
Now look here, you made-up hero. You left us to die. Fortunately, Horde Runner here knows what they're doing in an unfair fight. And a Bronzebeard never gives up. This hammer don't belong to you. It belongs to my father's clan, my son's clan, and mine. She picks up Fearbreaker. Get your people out of the wastes. Do some good if you still got the strength left. You're an earthen, are you not? Out of the mountains themselves.
You address the Queen Regent of the Dark Iron Clan.
I thought this day would never come because my dad would never give me Fearbreaker. He probably wanted it to happen a different way. But I have it now. I'll make sure it gets back to him safe. First, though, we have unfinished business.
If you hear anything...
Yeah, by the way, interesting little bit of visual storytelling. There's a Reaver, which was attacking him, defending an Earthen, who is dead. We can pretty much perceive how this battle went.
Best mind your manners in the presence of a queen.
Lady, I have killed empresses. The Scarden have taken over the operations here in the Rumbling Wastes. That's why Beridan thought he needed Fearbreaker. We're going to finish the job before I take it back to Magni. What kind of queen would I be if I wasn't willing to put myself in danger for the good of others? No comment.
May your hammer strike true.
Going to the Rumbling Waste to fight Scarden. Aye. You know, here's an interesting question for you. When did the dwarves learn dwarven accents? Earthen do not have dwarven accents. A detail they are consistent about going back to Wrath, and something I actually like. So it's obviously something they picked up. No, I mean like in Universe, Uthor. Like, accents come about, via a lot of things. And someone more skilled in linguistics... Evo, are you there? Quick, Evo. I can tell you more about that, but it's just fascinating to think about. Because they obviously have their own drift and dialect. Evo, quick. Oh. We're trying to speculate on where the dwarves picked up their accents in lore. And I thought you'd know a little bit about accents in general. Because again, the Earthen don't have accents. They barely have they have such different sentence structure and communication protocols in general. See, that's my thinking. Like, we obviously pick up accents based on who we're around, which is my accent is all over the place. Sorry for everyone who hates it. I know there's a few of you out there. But, like, where did the dwarves pick up Dwarven? Now, that's a thought. Trolls have been around since forever, and they've been speaking with, you know, the kind of troll accent for forever. We even know trolls have their own drift, because Zandalari trolls speak rather distinctly different from, say, Darkspear trolls. I'm not even going to get into the fact that everyone speaks Common. I'm willing to let that go. Hey, Captain Zeus. Hope your day is going well. I like Evo's idea. Dwarves learned their accent from being around trolls. And, again, linguistic drift is a thing, so... You go from being, I don't know, I need something to say that's appropriately troll. Of course, I can't think of anything. You get it, though. Like, you go from a typical troll accent and a little bit of extra emphasis on some of the words. Just kind of sitting there. You're good to be the king, yeah? And then that kind of drifts over time into something where you're talking down here a little bit more. Really honors and put a little bit of emphasis on different words. Obviously, the words themselves change over time. That's just natural. Watch out for the voodoo. That would be interesting. I need to find, like, a bit of troll dialogue and then read it with a dwarven accent. See how that sounds. Well, I mean, trolls were planetary. Like, they were all over the place. So... I'm not sure of the exact timeline, but I'm pretty sure that dwarves, that is to say, you know, fleshy earthen, existed before the Sundering. And as a direct consequence, you know, dwarves would have interacted with trolls pretty much wherever they are, because trolls were everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to read a dialogue from One Samdi, and I'm going to try to do this in a Dwarven accent. Let's see here. You saw them all, boy. A hopeless place that holds darkest spirits. But now be consuming every soul, no matter their deeds in life. Good or evil, thief or prince, they all go to the maw. Nothing as it should be. And I be keeping as many trolls away from there as I can. At no small cost. It's taken all I have left to keep them safe, which is why you must stop these rebels in the Blight Color. If they have their way, nothing will stop the souls from entering the maw. For good. I don't know, what do you think? Still definitely a pretty different tint to it, but that was more natural than I thought it would be. Sorry, the Skarden. The Skarden are a fascinating thing. I think the thing that interests me most about the Skarden is the dumb little thing that nobody cares about. The fact that it's so clearly a repetition of what, I believe it was Yogg-Saron did with the Forge of Wills. You know, taking an earthen crafting machine, infecting it, and so whatever comes out is void. In this case, it's different because it's not a crafting machine, it's the reawakening machine. But it is the same general concept. Nice, pillars of snow. Congrats. Oh yeah, there's plenty of time for that kind of drift to happen. A little bit too much time if we're being completely honest with ourselves. I didn't know that, Breaker. That's fascinating. That's true. God dang it. How did you... Look, we all speak common, okay? We're just gonna let it go. We all have a universal translator in our ears. And we're all just gonna accept that. One of those interesting questions I've heard several times is, why is the United States accents, plural, not the same as British accents, plural? I don't remember the answer to that, but it was a funny little rabbit hole to go down at one point in time. I don't know what you're talking about, Kira White Noise.
Are you here to chat or work?
We got there in a roundabout way. We still made a difference in the lives of the Earthen. Berund, hopefully, has learned a lesson in real heroism. But I suppose we'll see in time. Let's get this over with.
If you hear anything of note, let me know. Mind yourself, champion. We need you.
We have saved the day, and the Earthen will be forever grateful to you. I'm sure you'll remember me, and take care. Don't forget to do the right things for the right reasons. I've got to get back to Gundragos. Henceforth and always, all be known far and wide, we are made of the mountains themselves. Yeah, Brun's not a bad guy. He's just an idiot. I honestly thought he was like an infiltrator or a shapeshifter when I first met him. That's right, it was Yogg-Saron. Yogg-Saron is like, oh, right. That's actually Yogg's natural accent, is the Dwarven accent.
Nice weapons! No, kill me!
Jesus. You kobold friend, yes? Need help. Bad things happening in Chittering Den. Well, it is called the Chittering Den. Glumtooth King setting up camp. Cronies of Kendall King. Want war with Earthen. Can't stop them alone. Meet me at camp.
Keep bad things away!
Yes, got to bow down before the gold of death. Everyone's just like,
You are acknowledged.
greetings, I am Cagfritha. I was once a site supervisor for operations in the rumbling wastes to the south of here. But time has taken its toll on our enterprise, and we had to abandon the area. High time we get things back in working order, but while we are gone, some unsavory creatures have moved in. I have a plan for dealing with the worst of the bunch, but first we need bait. If you are here to help, hunt the dirt-diving crawlusks, and bring me back their meat.
Praise the machine.
While the crawlusks like to attack from beneath, the rumbling wastes also plays host to a predator, who prefers to swoop from above. Deep flayers have built nests on the peaks and ridges. Destroy their nests. Show them the waste is no longer a welcoming home.
Remain vigilant.
Start talking.
Why are you hiding? I had too many things I needed to do today, so I didn't do any of them. So now nothing is done, and I need a few moments to think. I've decided I'm going to hide until an idea comes to me.
The work continues.
All right, how many of you relate to that?
We all have our tasks.
Who are you? Oh, that's right. I heard there were new folk about. Are you headed north? If so, keep an eye out for my friend Scorthus, will you? The laggard was due back an hour ago, but is nowhere to be seen. I heard he was heading towards the Chittering Den for some awful reason. If you see him, tell him to hurry up and get back here, or I am drinking alone.
I'm still working. Are you leaving?
So, I think Ubisoft will go through a restructure soon. Do you mean mass layoffs and completely turning into a different company? Yeah, I think that's likely at this point. I would be shocked if it wasn't, to be quite honest with you. I also think that what's going to happen is they are going to get bought out. Because, if nothing else, the people who own Ubisoft will benefit from that. Always, always follow the money. I think AC Shadows was a game they were making regardless of anything, and then things started going bad. Or, to explain that differently, I've heard some people say that Shadows was their attempt at a last hurrah to try and save the company. Problem is, game development doesn't work like that. They started developing on that way before they had issues with Ubisoft, internally. So, no, it was just the next game on the docket. Now, it might be their last hurrah, and we'll see, but I don't think it's deliberate, if that makes any sense. It's not a Hail Mary, put it that way. Yeah, the release date, that might have been an attempt at a Hail Mary. Unlike, say, this rock snail. It was not a Hail Mary. He's just so cute. He's so cute. He's so cute. He's got flowers growing on him. Anyways, moving on. But no, I would say the two most likely things to happen here are either they're going to completely get sold outright, most of the staff will be fired, and in that sense it'll become a restructuring by becoming another shell company of Tencent, or whoever. Or they're going to go a massive restructuring by being part and parceled out. I don't know how France does bankruptcy cases, though. You know what will never happen, but would bring me legitimate joy? Imagine a game comes out that's overly monetized. You know, big game that's like Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. It's super monetized to hell and back. And they don't sell anything of note. Like, they make a few $1,000s on the microtransactions, and that's it. Nobody buys it. Nobody bothers. Now, that'll never happen because people are people. But that would really make me happy if that happened. Just a nice big... No. No, piss off with that, please. Thank you. Yeah, exactly, Hazardous. One whale will spend well over $1,000 on microtransactions on any given day. Yeah, by the way, we're starting to get to some pretty stuff, but we're not quite there yet, so we're not going to look at that quite yet. We'll look at pretty stuff later. No pretty stuff now. Only killing. Only killing and Ubisoft. Maybe killing Ubisoft. Yeah. Hero White Noise literally posted a $1,500 screenshot the other day. Literally. Probably the one and only time I have ever had any respect for Asmongold, ever, was when he asked several of his viewers to line up in their Brontosaur mounts and just roasted them for it. Just roasted them for it. What is wrong with you?
Please, proceed.
These juicy hunks of flesh are exactly what we need.
Stay productive.
I suppose I should come clean and tell you why I gathered the meat. Truth is, there is a horrible beast who lives in the wastes. A monster who feeds on the unwary and whose pincers can snap through stone and bone like a knife through butter. Its name is Smargthur, and its foul thing is the reason I have one eye and many of my gems are cracked. I am no match for it, but you can enact my vengeance. Kill Smargarth so the wastes can be free.
Returning to work.
There are worse things people can spend their money on, and I have to work very hard to not hate the people who buy those things. And I'm just going to be really honest about that, because the whole thing is really gross. And the more you think about it, the grosser it gets. But at the end of the day, the microtransaction itself is what bothers me. Lego, that's another one. But don't look at me like that. I like Legos too, especially the really good high quality Legos, but Legos are rather overpriced.
Another interruption.
Alright, I suppose we'll do the depressing quest. Busted bot Brock should have been back by now.
Work cycle interrupted.
Blast it all. Brennock and I were on our way to Shadowvane Point to conduct a recitation ceremony. We were attacked by scorpids. Now the hauler has a scorpid stinger lodged in its gears and Brennock has wandered off. He said he was going to stretch his legs while I fixed the hauler, but that was a while ago. I need the bot moving. Could you look for him?
Faith. Order. We must remember.
Oh yeah, 40k minis are also way overpriced. I was talking to my niece about that recently.
We've got hostiles. You need to step up.
There's so many different styles and types of scams.
Another outbreak of violence.
That's great.
Time to step.
For example, here's I don't know, a cup. Behold. But it's a really nice cup. It's so good. It's made from pure amethyst. I'll sell it to you for $120. Now, this is, let's assume for a moment this is actually made of amethyst. It's not, it's plastic. But just bear with me. Theater to the mind, okay? So here's this overpriced pure amethyst cup. It is not worth $120. But at least it is a cup made of amethyst. So it is exactly what it is described to do. I'm just overcharging you for it. That's Legos in a nutshell, right? That's what that boils down to. Legos tend to be high-quality products, and they are exactly what I say they are. They are a Lego of this. You put it together, which is part of the fun, and then you have a model, which is the other half of the fun. Cool. They also charge hundreds of dollars for them. My book, what have they done? Years of work carried off by animals. You don't understand. I was going to leave the Ringing Deeps, but I can't now. Not without my book. Why do you want to leave? So many come to me to entrust stories or ask questions. I try to answer well, but I don't really know. I could describe the sun 100 ways, but to me it's less real than a candle's flame. My stories matter. I know that. I keep memories alive that would otherwise pass into nothing. but they're all as much as shadows trickling down the cenotes. I want to see the real thing. I want to bring back new stories, not just retell old ones. I want my oath to grow, not stagnate. My oath is to be a compiler. I collect and tell stories of our people. Is there wisdom in stories told by someone who never lived them? I've never had an adventure. I was afraid to overwrite the stories entrusted to me, so I started transcribing them into a book. Every time we return to Shadowvane, I add more. I was going to leave and pass the book, but Scorpids ransacked it. Please find the missing pages. I won't be like the Unbound. My stories are my oath, and they must be passed on. I need my book whole. Also, real tiny little touch here. Kidding, Clays. I hope Tesla just kind of burns. You know, crash and burns, but that's vindictiveness speaking. Good thing, we just got a quest to collect 100 items. You know that means it's just gonna fly by. That's half of what we need. Go to bed, Evo. Tomorrow there's a non-zero chance we'll be hitting delves and possibly dungeons. Especially delves, though. And people would be welcome for that. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not saying any particular fire mages would be welcome for that. Yep, we're gonna play D&Ds. Not quite the same thing. We're probably not going to do heroics tomorrow, because I'm probably not going to be geared for it. But delves! We can do delves now. See you around, Evo. Get some good rest. Oh, and I need to send a message. I just realized that. I also need to tell y'all a small story. So, last night, I had 3 browser pages up, right? One of them was just, I don't remember what, doesn't matter. The second one was my reviewed notes, and the third one was the spreadsheet I've been using to keep track of zones. If you look at that sheet, you look at the very top, and what you will see is a whole lot of red. That's the BC zones. They were a sea of red on the gameplay axis. That's something I stand behind. The reason I bring that up, though, is my niece sits down. Of course, she doesn't really know how I review things, but she has a brain. And so she looks at that, looks at the labels, because it's all labeled. You know, story, gameplay, zone, secondaries, MSQ, etc. And she says, how do you even do that? And I'm confused, because I'm off doing something else. I'm like, what? Because she's sitting here in my chair. And she's like, how do you even do that? How are there so many gameplay negatives? What game is this? I was like, well, that's WoW. Specifically, you know, the first expansion of WoW. How do you have 72 negatives to gameplay? And she couldn't, like, wrap her mind around that. She couldn't quite process how you could manage that. I was like, well... You remember that one part of... Oh, what was the game? I pointed to a specific game she played. Of course, I can't remember right now. That really irritates you every time you have to deal with it? Yeah. Okay, imagine that irritation is 1 negative. And then she looks at me like with his big eyes of... So there were 72 of those? Yeah. Oh my god. It was actually really cute. I'm not trying to bash PC. I thought the interaction was funny. Thousands of stories, and now they're probably lining some animal den. The precise ordered text is too small to read. Oh my gosh. Oh, by the Titans, thank you. I don't know what I would have done if I lost these. I can finally leave without failing my oath. Right, we better get to Hallmaus before she gets suspicious. Please don't tell her about any of this. Her duty is to guide and guard me in my role as compiler. If she knows planning to leave, I don't know what she would do. No, Zar. Like I said, it just happened to be up. I wasn't intending to show her anything. Hey, Twister. You're so cute! Okay. Rannoch, where were you? Your duty is to rest. All I've ever done is rest.
We are the Titans' bedrock.
Rannoch seems
and
troubled lately,
foundation.
fixating on stories about oaths and journeys. I hope the Shadow Vein recitation raises his spirits.
The Titans will return.
Thank you for bringing him back. He always acts strange when we come to Shadow Vein, but he seems more out of sorts than usual.
May the Titans...
Once a year, Brannock and I take the long road through the Ringing Deeps. We stop at each outpost, and Brannock tells the residents a story from their past. One they entrusted him to remember, even when they forget. It's my duty to read the ceremony site. Ready the ceremony site. Will you come with me? I could use the help.
We will continue speaking later.
I'm going to the recitation site, Brannock. Brannock to wander off. Of course, where would I even go? Ahem. I'll slip away after the recitation. It's easy to vanish in a crowd of earth and enjoying a keg of cinder brew. However, I can't be recognized when I leave town. I don't want anyone to stop me, or worse, think I'm abandoning my oath. Better to just disappear. If you can find me a spare set of miner's clothes, I'll be able to get away without being noticed. I think that might be one of my favorite colorations for the thing. Right there. I don't know where that particular one drops, but yeah. It seems they have more pressing concerns here than cleaning. Could you tidy while I hang the ornaments? Brannock's role isn't easy. He must keep his life simple.
We've got hostiles.
To keep the stories from being overwritten by his own experiences.
Another outbreak of violence. Time to stay.
I swore to watch over him, guide him, care for the parts of his life his oath keeps him from partaking in. Your Archon has lied to you. He's never left the Ringing Deeps. I worry for him. How long can a person live without their own experiences?
Communication initiated.
Brannock usually seems more excited for a recitation.
Return if you wish to speak again.
The Candle King. Oh, sorry.
Candle King lied to you. He take candle.
There's no way I'm going back in there. What do I do? What? Oh, hang on, wrong quest. Wrong quest. I want this one. There we go. Whoop, hang on. I roamed into the bioluminescent area. Lobby.
He take dark flame candle. Now candles all shadow. Shadow and fire.
Oh gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god, is that ice physics? Oh my god, they've added ice physics to WoW. I can't believe it. How did they even do that?
Have you met your quota?
It's a very urgent, embarrassing situation.
Stay productive.
Oh yeah, the spider boss. Which I've only fought once ever, which is why I didn't think about that immediately. I hope the compiler has Tales from the Surface. You go into the recitation? Who knows? Maybe he'll tell one of my stories. Yep, we've successfully added a nearly universal thing to the game. Yay! Universally negative thing, excuse me. Meh? I do remember the ice rink. That would have been more within, though. Listen, the Omnissiah knows all and protects all. No, let me out. Let me out. Ah, fine. There you go. Yeah, what's up?
Do you have a query?
Now there's one last thing we need. It wouldn't be a proper recitation without me. However, Hearthkeeper Zerk tells me the last couple of deliveries of Cinder Brew haven't arrived. It seems the local flayers in the Rumbling Wastes have a taste for it and raid the shipments. Here, take a spare keg. See what you can recover.
May rook nor ram take you far.
Oh, jeez, Kira White Noise. Yeah, that's, yeah. All right. So, what the hell is that? Okay. Okay. Ask Cruncher was the name of the thing. These are Mead Mad Flayers. I'm telling you, they need a old content team. Listen, sometimes you really, 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 really need a brew. I mean, I could rip off the wrapping on this candy bar, or
Speak and be heard.
Thank you. The miners will appreciate this. I hope the flayers weren't too much trouble.
Resuming work cycle.
Well, it's time. I'll be holding the recitation at the mine entrance. I'll see you there, though don't feel obligated to stay the whole time. I'll leave my book for High Maz to find. She'll take care of it. After the ceremony, I would like to say goodbye properly. Meet me by the bridge outside of town. I'll head there after the recitation. Skip recitation. Well, this is it. The last story I'll tell for some time. I don't see High Maz. She doesn't always attend. Titan knows she's heard my stories plenty. Still, I'd hoped, but she wouldn't know this is the last. I come to you with a story from this very mine, the story of two miners, Durgar and Karag. Side by side, they served their oaths for centuries, but in time Karag fell to the call of the unbound. Her pick grew heavy and her thoughts grew heavier still. She ceased work and barely spoke. Durgar saw her friend's pain and he was desperate to help, but all she knew was mining. So she swore her oath. She would not return to the surface until she found something so incredible it would shake off Karag's doubts. For many years she searched. True to her promise, she never left the mine. One day, in the fathomless depths, she found her prize, a peerless gem, so beautiful it could cut through all of Karag's doubts. Joyful, she ran back to Karag. Do you know what Karag said when Durgar returned with the gem? Nothing. Karag had long since passed into stillness. They say all her strength went out of Durgar. Her body so worn, it had only been her oath keeping her upright. When she tried to comfort her, she shattered. She was a mere shell of stone. Remember, an oath is a heavy thing. If we are not careful, we will buckle under that weight. Now, please feel free to engage depression cycles, number 15 and 37. Error. Do not re-engage all depression cycles simultaneously. Will be detrimental to continuing function. There you two are. Wait, why are you alone? Where's Brennock?
What is your command?
I knew Brennock was acting odd. Then one of the miners mentioned you borrowed a spare set of clothes. That and his strange mood, well, it wasn't hard to guess he planned to leave. I expected to see him come this way, though. Have you seen him?
We will continue speaking later.
This is the only road to the elevator. He should be here by now. Unless he didn't take the road. He wouldn't want to be seen. He has no idea how dangerous the deeps are. We have to find him.
Resuming work cycle.
It's okay, I have the preternatural ability to tell where he is. Did you hear that? He's hardly ever left paved road. He doesn't understand the dangers. I got your back.
You need to step up. Another outbreak of violence.
Oh my god, please, Brent, please.
Time to step.
Kind of busy. Time and place, Brent. Time and place. We'll do your world quest later, or more likely, not at all. Come on, get out of here, but before more of them turn up. Jesus, Brennock. Hi, Maz. How did you find me? I won't go back. You can't stop me. You shale-headed schist. Oh my god, schist seam. I'm not here to stop you. I'm coming with you. You what? Oh. I've been so foolish.
The causeway must be
On his own for 5 minutes and see what happens. At least traveling won't be boring. Arrgh.
May the Titans.
If only he'd told me sooner, stone-headed oaf. But if he's set on leaving, he'll need a guide. I'm not sure he knows how to put one foot in front of the other on his own. His chronicle's already on a rook headed to Gundargaz. They'll take care of his stories, at least until he's had his fill of his own. My oath is and always was to care for him. I can't do that if I keep him down here. Thank you for helping him.
Faith. Order.
Thank you, Lord
We
Runner.
must remember both.
So where to first? First, I want to feel the sun. After that, who knows? Is Zekvir even there anymore? Or do you mean Zekvir 2? In which case, never mind. So, here's a stupid question. What's the point of killing Zekvir now? Fun? Done. Ah, so it's the old mythic trick. Gotcha. Okay. Where are we at? So we're just about to head north. Oh no, east. There we go. Let's do this. Now, you don't gotta tell me twice. I mean, I did defeat Zekvir easy mode. Feels weird saying that because we did not have an easy time of it. But we did it. Whoops. Oh, come on. There we go. I'll be right back. Yeah, no, we did heroic, not mythic. We've poked at mythic. That wasn't happening. I'll be right back. sorry. Still not doing super great. Sure, Huthor. So, I'm going to share a really weird random factoid. When I play WoW with my friends, I'm usually reading the quest out loud for them. Partially as practice for these very same streams that we're doing right now, but also because they prefer to listen rather than to read, something you're probably familiar with. The thing is, what I usually do is I read a quest, and then I move on, and then I do an interaction, then I read a quest and move on. And one of my friends, who groups with me, finds this to be unacceptable because they keep falling behind. And so they keep being like, hey, you know, maybe you could actually... Okay, long story short, I did like this entire quest chain and then moved on to the next area and then came back, and they hadn't actually turned in yet because they were falling so far behind on that point. And they got a little upset about that. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do to fix this? And I admit I got a little frustrated because I'm like, from my perspective, it all makes perfect sense. I stop talking, so now we're moving on to the next step, and then we come back and we keep talking, right? So I came up with this whole system where I'd be like, okay, reading quest such and such, so, you know, a neb in need, you know, and then I'd read it out loud, stuff like that. This is the exact moment right here where that policy got started. You know spider. Please help before spiders come again. Neb no chittering den. Never seen spiders before. Eat grubs, eat kobolds, but spiders, dark things from dark places, hate light. Can't leave post. You take candle, yes? Light up barricades. Keep spiders away.
Keep bad things away.
So let's see. What do I mean, not that I would ever use FF14 mods, but I'll admit I don't use a lot of FF14 mods. I use a DPS tracker. I use a proc and buff tracker. And then I use a version of ElvUI, which I forget what it's called. Not that I would ever use mods or add-ons with FF14, but if I were to ever do so, those would be the three that I use.
Hey, you give that. Stand up to big things.
Light good, but more do good. Spiders, ACT. Pardon. Spiders came from everywhere. Neb quick. Neb heard them. But Fred Stubjaw, he bit. Sick now. Neb might know way. Yes, turn venom into cure. Use bite to cure bite.
Remember, be helpful.
No time for me. Must save others first. You're too squishy for scary earthen. Too ugly for kobold. I am, in fact, an earthen. Ah, don't tell tales.
Know something.
Nebya, no see past own snout. If harvest lost, many kobolds lost, not just Snubjaw. Okay, no waste time. Kobolds starve if spiders gobble grubs and eggs. Save them. Gather eggs, as many as you can, before spiders snatch them all.
Find more shinies.
All happened so fast. One moment we gathering eggs, and next spiders. Neb caught me here. Others trapped cotton webs, soon to be feasts. Must save grub tenders. We tenders, not fighters. Do not let friends become meals.
Be nice to kobolds.
Kobolds are friends, not food. Although... Oh my god, Huthor, that's hysterical. Kind of horrible, but definitely hysterical. So what you're saying is we need a new British Empire. One that will withstand the test of time and rule this pathetic world. See, that's what we really need. Everyone does like Nazis end up taking over the world. No. We need to have the British take over the world. Oh my god. Again. It was raining when the eclipse happened here. I didn't see anything. It's a new Kobold Empire. Peace, prosperity, and security for my new empire. And again, my allegiance is to the Republic, the United Kingdoms, to democracy. Democracy is what led to Brexit. Anyways. No bite. No bite. Don't worry, I'm not going to bite you, although you do look delicious. I'll think about it. Ding. 5 warband mentors. My 5th 80 ever. It's a weird thought. Hey, Kratzmann! Yeah, sure. Let's play with this for a second. Yeah, that should be the last level of the run, honestly. We might have more in the future, because remember, I need to show off all the hero classes in Patch Within. But, for this run, yeah, that should be it. So let's try Templar for a second. Yeah, killing a random spider. That is so appropriate. Okay, so Hammer of Light. Hammer down your enemy with the power of the light, doing damage, and AoE. Additionally, calls down hammers from the sky. Let's do that one. After you do another Imperial Hammer. When it crits, it does more damage to new enemies. Divine Steed is even better. Everything increases. Shake the Heavens. Let's Shake the Heavens. Oh. Oh! Okay. So, I want to do 3 and then 1 and 2. 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. Okay. Sorry, I should read that out loud. I can either make it so that Empyrean Hammer has a chance to reset Hammer of Wrath and make it usable, or Judgment increases the damage of Hammer by 10% for 10 seconds and can overlap. Shield of Righteous and Word of Glory, call down a hammer. Yep. While Shake the Heavens is active, this effect calls down an additional hammer. Okay. Hammer of Light. Grants Shield of the Righteous, erupting a Consecrate and under my target, increasing my haste. Also, 3 holy power. Grants 3 holy power. Interesting. And then you get a stack of deliverance when you call down a hammer. While Eye of Tyr and Hammer of Light are unavailable, you consume 60 stacks of Light's deliverance, empowering yourself to cast Hammer of Light an additional time for free. Interesting. So, all the way back in Kata, there were a weirdly large number of Eels are Evil quests. Everyone remembers the one in Vashir, but there's actually several. So it kind of became a thing. But then, here's the weird part. Every expansion since then has had at least one quest having to do with Eels being evil. And it's just kind of been a thing. So very unintentionally, it's just sort of been a thing that eels are evil, and we must deal with them appropriately. Yeah, someone on the Blizzard staff clearly has a thing against eels. Yeah, it stopped being the poop quests, and it started being the eels quest. That's not actually a joke. That's exactly what happened. And Esmerastar is their master because... I don't remember why. You'll have to ask her. I don't know. Yeah, I forget where, but we did have evil eels in Dragonflight. We haven't had evil eels in War Within yet that I remember. I've been paying attention for it. We probably will have it in the third zone. Oh, that's a good point. And we will definitely have it in the Delves. No take me. Okay, real talk. I liked the other spec. I'm already liking this one a little bit more. Like, Holy Armaments is fine, but I never really felt its impact in any substantial manner. Having the extra hammer, and then the extra abilities that buff you while the hammer's up, and then the extra hammers that come down when you have the buff going, and then the extra hammers that you can call down to increase the buff duration to make even more hammers come down after you've done the hammer down, is kind of ridiculous. It's just... Boom, boom, boom. I don't remember the command to pull up the sheet. Might be WoW? Try WoW, Spartan.
I'm hungry. Got food?
Oh yeah, also you get a free cast of hammers every, I think it's 60. We're up to 10 right now? Yep.
Remember, be helpful. Hey, hey, we friends, okay? Know something? Not my fault.
Little venom, little wax. Yes, this should work. Finest poultice. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We had an eel raid boss in BFA.
Bring back stock.
Just continuing the trend there. Ah, what you put in that, Neb?
Yeah.
Oh no, don't work. He worse, but why?
I was
That's just no work. Wax, right? Venom wrong? Yes, yes, strongest cure needs strongest venom. Nipsaw, crawler. Queen, red, black. Too big bother with kobolds. Queen smell juicy grubs and scared for cave.
keep bad things away.
Which Warcraft 3 has the better lines? Human, peasant, or orc peon? Ooh, that sounds good, Bregman. Of course, everything you cook sounds good. I'm telling you, I'm going to hire her to cook and then, like, give her enough money that she can do whatever she wants to in her downtime. That's just a thing that's going to happen. Where is this? Hang on. There it is. Righto. What? That line? Oh. No one else available. I mean, they pretty much just did the... I shouldn't say just. They pretty much did the SCV thing with the peons. My life for Aya! I mean, Nazul! Don't you mean for Azeroth? Ah! Buttons here. And then let's pop all the buttons. Let's forget to hit the right button. Now we're hitting the buttons. Oh yeah, this is probably the closest thing to an arachnophobia creature in this game, is that thing we just killed. Weirdly enough, it does not bother me. But it is probably as close as we're getting. Or at least as we have currently gotten. WoW's pretty good about its spiders for the most part. Yeah, I am fine not getting those mounts. Yeah, I keep spacing on that Cure White Noise. Mango habanero jam.
Hey, you give that?
Yeah.
Be nice to kobolds.
Oh, cave no spinning now. Yeah, I could see that as Miristar. Yeah, I already answered you. Just go with Peon. Peon! Come on, man!
No take Tando. Stand up to big things. Be nice to kobolds.
With Queen dead, Spider Swarm will pass. Thanks to you, eggs remain. Den will recover. Kobolds will recover. Not on my watch. Yeah! Oh, sorry. Oh, speaking of which. Hey, we're level 80. What did we just get? 626? I'm not gonna complain about that. Jesus. We also got a key out of that. Well, maybe we should do this thing while we're down here. Get a little more gear going. What's my goal? 608, I think it was. There's no way I'm going back in there. What do I do?
You are acknowledged.
Oh, Prundus sent you? Is it that time already?
Stay productive.
Prundus is going to have to wait. My beloved Liski is missing. She went into the cave and hasn't come out. I think whatever's making that terrible stench drew her attention. Please, go find my Liski. She hasn't drawn the attention of the horrid creatures inside yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Raise the machine.
I tried to get Liski back, but she ran to the far end of the cave. The whole thing is full of disgusting masses of worms. As if they aren't bad enough, down there's a creature so vile and slimy and oozy, I ran for my life. No, I am not proud of leaving Liski behind. I was just about to work up the courage to get back when you arrived. While you're looking for Liski, you should dispose of those gross things. We have to kill Uzmodius.
Stay productive.
2, I think? Hang on. Veteran 2-8. Yeah, anyone want to help me Dread Pit in a minute here? Right there. I think it's the Dread Pit. That's not the Dread Pit. I don't know what that is. Anyone wants to help me do this in a minute? You don't have to. It's cool. It's all cool. Yeah, it's kill 4 elites. I actually recognize it. I probably could manage that solo. It would take 70 years, but I could do it. I kind of wish the falling hammers were a little bit more visible. Like, the viscerality isn't quite as good as the other spec. But there are falling hammers periodically. And they are definitely doing some damage. Hang on, so Papanik said he joined. The White Noise said she joined. Give me a sec, let me finish up this little quest first. I mean, I can agree with Kira White Noise said this feels a lot more like a DPS spec compared to the other one, which is way more group oriented. The fact that the augment, excuse me, the buff that I get just kind of automatically goes to a nearby party member, yeah. Lizzie. Liski? Come back. No, wait, stop. Come back. Come back. Come back. Why won't you... Oh, God. Okay, whatever. Fine. I'll go kill Uzmodius then. Goodbye. Lisky. Come here. Lisky. 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 Listen, you've got 2 ways to get through this. One of them involves you stop running and let me grab you. No! Why? What am I doing wrong here? Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, this feels like a situation where I should have an extra attack button. I just don't. Hang on. Hey! There it is, just instantly. Come here. Come on. Up you go. Come on. Come on. Up, up. Come on. This is an FF14. This is an FF14. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh my god, Lizky is just... Can I just pick them up, please? There we go. Holy schmoly.
Please proceed.
Oh, you found her. Thank you.
Raise the machine.
You're welcome. Okay. Nothing, Pillars of Snow. Nothing at all. Oh, whoop, it's more north than this? It is. Who's this? Okay, that's smart.
We've got hostiles.
There we go.
You need to step up and engage them.
Done.
We want to preserve this place.
Jesus, melt. You can tank all you want, Spartan. I'm not going to switch to red. I actually like broad. I know. I'm weird. I mean, I'd rather die than have the jailer back, so I'll take the Backstreet Boys being back. Holy's in a pretty good place. I like it. I'm gonna have to think about exactly how many pauses it gets later. But... Nice, Kraken-san. And very appropriate for what we were talking about for how well itemized delves are. I actually can't think of a single Backstreet Boys song in my head. I can think of an NSYNC one NSYNC one, because it was popular when I was in high school. I can't think of any Backstreet Boys songs.
Task complete.
And done.
You've made this place safer.
Just run over that. And that gave us a helmet. 626, veteran 2 of 8. I'll take it.
Need something to do?
Oh, this is awful. Awful. Those accursed slag keep elementals are keeping my refinery workers from being able to do their jobs. Duty demands we carry on our work. These delays will not be tolerated. You look competent. Get down there. Get to work destroying elementals. Production must not be slowed. The factory must grow.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Quickly, elementals have overrun the Nibelgaz mine, and the refiner crew are trapped down there with them. I'm especially worried about my fused. You're fused? Munderroot. His memory's not the best these days. If you're a friend, rescue him and the refiner workers. Here, take this healing clay. It only helps a little, but it should be enough for any injured to make their way back. I wish we had a rejuvenating crystal, but that's the stuff of legends.
Keep busy.
Your foreman lied to you. So is there any character in fiction worse than the jailer? There probably is. But of the characters I have reviewed across literally hundreds of games, the answer to that is mathematically no. We even compared it, because the jailer's direct competition was the sister of Tekuvma. And while she was very, 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 very bad, she didn't quite hit the levels of the jailer. Kai Lang is pretty far up there, too. Although even he is below the sister of Tekuvma. Hey, Narset, 1 second, please. Yeah, like, see, the thing is, the jailer's just on another level. We've had really terrible characters, but what really uniquely makes the jailer so bad is that he's behind everything. They so crudely try to make him the thing behind everything, and that's the problem. Yeah, if Kai Lang was the source of the Reapers, if the sister of Tekuvma actually invented Klingons, if... I'm struggling to think of other really, really, really terrible characters all of a sudden. I don't know, help me out. What's a really terrible character? Like a truly terrible character. Speaking of which, thank you, Narset, for the sub. I will jot that down. For Persona 3R, Dungeon Siege 2, and Heaven's Vault. What's another really awful character? I can't think of it all of a sudden. Ugh, that would be terrible, Huthor. Could you imagine? Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a really, truly awful Star Trek character. Someone who's just get off my screen territory, but believe it or not, those are kind of rare in Star Trek. I wouldn't call Logain a bad character, personally. I don't know, maybe I'm weird on that point. The jailer isn't get off our screen, because he isn't! But no, yeah, like, again, the problem with the jailer is his forced significance to the narrative, to the entire setting. I struggle to really even explain this because it doesn't get it across. He's behind the Burning Legion. Like, canonically. The Burning Legion is his fault and his idea. Really think about that for a second. And that's just one of the things he's behind, by the way. He's behind a whole bunch of other things. But, like, just, I use that to try and explain the significance of it. Yeah, this is why I call him a Mary Sue, because the principal definition of a Mary Sue is someone who warps the narrative around them. And that's the jailer.
You don't look busy enough.
What a terrible delay in production. The miners will have to work twice as hard to make up for lost time. Good you came around when you did. Those elementals are a menace. An awful menace.
You go wherever you please, don't you?
Yeah, you know...
Are you here?
hang on. Oh, this is a... Okay, so before I continue this quest, I got... Huthor just gave a great example. It's not a true example, it's made up, but like, imagine if in an episode, in a one-off episode of Star Trek, there's this villain called the Warper, who invented warp space and all of the precursor races that led to life developing, like the Preservers and the Q and all that. And he invented all of them as his master plan to destroy the entire galaxy, and he's beaten by the end of the episode. That's the Jailer. If you just kind of snap all of his connections to the greater lore and setting aside, he is still a bad character. He's a generic doomsday villain who's here to take over the universe. Okay, cool. But, like, that's it, right? Yeah, he is merely boring at that point. Oh, what's the name of that one? Oh, it's the Azure. I actually have them out too. I believe this is one for the anniversary event. Something like that. There's the other one, which I believe you can still get. Which is the one I just accidentally looked up. Memories of Fell, Frost, of Fire? I don't actually remember what that's from. But yeah, it's the Deathwing colored version of the Deathwing mount. It's also the anniversary event. Well, never mind.
The burden is mine.
This medallion is a symbol of the connection between Munderud and myself. He made one for each of us to remind us of our bond. We exchanged them when we decided to become fused. They have matching gems, etched with flowers. Munderud is a master at carving the finest details onto gems. There's no other who can match his skill.
The gears turn once more.
Why would he have forgotten about you? We Earthen live for a very long time. We are meant to return to the archive regularly so we can deposit our memories. Now we can no longer retrieve them. Syncing with the awakening machine maintains the knowledge we need to function, but our personal memories fade over time. Over millennia, we cannot hold on to as many memories as we would like. With enough time, the past slips away, piece by piece. Faces once cherished can become strangers. That's why Munderud and I exchanged medallions, to remind him of what we once shared.
Stay focused.
The workers told me you helped them escape the refinery. Task complete. I'll take the clay back now. Gratitude.
Back to work.
The workers say they saw Munderud near the back of the mining area. Please find him and tell him I said he needs to report back in. He might not remember me, or that I am his fused. Tell him to look down at his chest, at the medallion he wears. His memory of our time fades in and out these days, but the medallion tells of our story and bond. Forever.
We must restore the machine.
This is the only one of the mechs I don't actually want. The diamond mount. It's cool and all, but it's pretty much just the one from Legion with a different coloring style to it. I want the one that straight up looks like it's out of Mega Man X. Oh, is that a Season 1 thing?
Strike while the iron's hot.
Who are you? What are you doing here? What was I doing here? Gathering spines, I suppose. I got distracted by all the elementals. They've made this area quite dangerous for someone who is more of an artist than a fighter.
Always another
Morsynth sent you? And we're supposedly fused. Why? So I'm wearing a medallion. But I have no memory of... No time for that. Did you see the spinning spores on your way here? I need the spines for... Was that again? Oh yes. There's no better instrument for carving out the fine detail that my work as a gem carver requires than those spines. Will you collect some? Oh, it's good news. We only need 150, so this should be very quick. Yeah, so...
Restore the machine.
This Orsynth sounds intriguing. I should meet I should talk to her. Yeah, so... Obvious dementia allegory, it's obvious. I'm not going to comment on that. This is something that Voyager came extremely close to touching on, and only really did once, and then immediately walked away from it again. The idea is actually really, really simple. There's only so much hard drive space. For something that wasn't designed to store infinite storage, at some point or another, the hard drive gets full. It's kind of a problem unique to artificial life in fiction. Because, you know, artificial life isn't supposed to sustain that long. And how long that long is depends, but in this case, it's obviously a very, very long time. Yeah, it's an entire species which is very slowly experiencing dementia. And that's exactly as horrible as that sounds. And it's treated with the exact level of seriousness that needs to be treated with. They even have developed a method to get around it. By regularly copying and backing up their memories out of their hard drive, they free up room for new memories. And those memories are then in the archive, which they can go peruse later if they choose to. Now, obviously, there were issues with the archive we've already talked about, but you get the point. This is the kind of problem that the Doctor ran into over on Voyager because he was never intended to generate memories like that. And I bring that comparison specifically because the whole problem with the Doctor was he was not designed to handle this problem. No one even considered this problem when they were building him. Same thing with the Earthen. The Titans... Well, excuse me, that's actually not true. Let me walk that sentence back. The Titans did have a plan for the Earthen, and that plan was periodic memory wipes. With all the problems that entails. So, no memory wipes means, now what?
Start talking.
Why, what is this now? You're a stranger to these depths, are you not? What are you doing here? We've spoken before? Well, what are you waiting for then? Give me those spines. Okay, here you go.
The gears.
Where did you come from? Who are you? I do not know how you knew I needed these spines, but I thank you. There is no better instrument for carving out the fine detail my work as a gem carver requires. I am a gem carver, you see. Have you met my new friend, Orsynth? What was I saying?
You know what to do.
Here's the stranger I was telling you about, Keldas. All of them, Bragwin, but I haven't watched all the cutscenes yet on purpose. Yeah, I need to decide exactly when we show that off. That is launch content.
Need something to do?
Orson told me you've been instrumental in dealing with the elemental problem. I am Keldas, supervisor for the militia. We came as soon as word of the attack reached us in Gundergaz. The miners you rescued said the elementals poured out of the northeast mine shaft. I will leave some of the guards here to lend their support and have sent for reinforcements if you are still willing to help. Meet me outside the cave and let us see what we can do to staunch the flow of elementals.
If that is all...
Let's go. We can meet you at the cave. Yeah, I was thinking about doing it at the end of the Ringing Deeps, because this is kind of the end of the Earthen story arc.
You don't look busy enough.
We did as well. We made it as well, but we were attacked often on our way over. Unfortunately, Nathans took a heavy blow and needs to recover.
Keep me informed.
The elementals are coming from inside the cave. We only made it part of the way in before needing to retreat. I could see some flickering within, some strange glowing thing that looked almost like a tear in space from which the elementals poured forth. We managed to close one portal, but there are still more. I need to stay with Nathans. It's up to you. Destroy the rifts and find the source.
I'm still working. Are you leaving?
Yeah, we won't finish the deeps tonight, I don't think. In fact, I know we won't. We've got these quests down here, we've got these quests down here, And then we've got these quests over here. And that's in addition to the area we're doing right now. I wasn't even talking about delves, although we can do delves now. I am now 80. We can actually start doing those, but I kind of want to finish the zone first. I don't know, we'll kind of rotate that based on player availability, because I know several people want to join for delves. They didn't pay me. Excavation Site 9, huh? Yeah, I don't like to delve into hyperbole. Get it? But I really do think delves are one of the big 4 things that they added, which was just a universally positive thing for the game. In modern WoW, I mean. Talent system, delves, stay a while and listens, and dragon flying. That's the core. The amount of positives those 4 things alone have generated, and the amount of negatives they've destroyed is not insignificant. The thing I like most about delves is while Mythic Plus is, for all intents and purposes, good, it's pretty much never going to be for me. Like it or not, I don't have a prefab and I don't have the time. Delves is something I can engage in and still actually be challenged. I can't 2-man a Mythic Plus, you know. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Pink Elephant Delve. That's all I'll say about that. But my actual favorite is probably one of the ones in the 4th zone. There's several really good ones there. What the heck are you? Why are you trying to... What the hell? Puppeteer. I've actually done that particular story too. I think that was my 8 or 9 when I was getting up to 10. Nice! What was this now? Congrats. I will tell you my least favorite delve. I don't remember the specific name of it. It's in the 3rd zone. And it's underwater. The major mechanic of it is you have to manage your breath. Now, that's irritating. I'm just gonna say that. It is weirdly easy to lose track of your breath in that delve. However, there's another little niggle of that one. You can't glide in there. I play a demon hunter. So it's just, like, 2 layers of irritating.
Outside.
You return with good news, I hope. Explain. With Uthgrafer's defeat, we should have no problem cleaning up the rest of the elementals and rifts ourselves. We are lucky you came along when you did. Thank you for your help, friend. Do not worry about me or Nanthaz. We will make our way back to the refinery once he has caught his breath.
Keep me informed.
That is barely an upgrade, but it is an upgrade. Yeah, I was thinking about it. If I was just playing my undead warrior, I'd be fine. Or an alchemist. Ha!
Do you need something?
A shard from a glittering cave? Why does that sound familiar? Oh, this can't be. It's the healing crystal I mentioned earlier. We thought it was lost. What a wonder to hold it in my hands. I wish I could mend our minds with it as well as mend our wounds. We need to get the vault back up and running.
You know what to do.
Down in the glittering depths, guarded by living rock, seek ye neither silk nor sand. The most elusive of jewels, then the reconstructed crystal, will one day be yours. Of course he'd remember some ages-old poem and not remember me. Oh, Munderud. What's a druide? I've heard of that. Okay, so that's a dungeon, that's a dungeon. That's those quests. That's those... No, that's a delve. That's a turn-in, so I think we're actually pretty close to finishing. Oh, there's when opportunity explodes. I guess I'll just leave that down there. Oh, it's a Moonkin spec. Ah, okay, that makes sense. I should write this down while I'm thinking about it, just to make sure I did. No, Moomins are delicious, though. Earthenworks. There it is. Okay, just making sure. Want to make sure I jotted down a note about that. What game? What are you talking about, Uther? You know, I am actually doing it on purpose. I'm sorry. I did want to see the Earthenworks, but I did do that on purpose. There's only one thing I don't like about druids. Literally just one. Maybe don't like is too exaggerative. It's my least favorite tank. Of all the tank specs, it's my least favorite tank spec. That's just purely personally. I'm sure it's perfectly viable and good and well designed and blah, blah, blah. It's just not as fun as the others to me.
Let's get down to business then.
It's funny. I could see why my dad was so fond of this hammer. What it meant when he trusted others to hold on to it. Beerbreaker's got a mind of its own. It wants what it wants. Suppose I can relate.
We will survive.
Here's your hammer, you stubborn old ram. I found it sure enough. Ah, you should keep it, my girl. It's sitting in solid in your hands, like it belongs there, as it was meant to. Isn't some sort of test trick to make sure me accept a certain legacy? You're a Bronzebeard through and through. It don't take Fearbreaker to make that clear. I just ask that one day when you know it's time, you pass it on. Aye. But for now, I'll keep good care of it. Thanks, Da. So let's see. Demon Hunter at the top, Paladin number 2, Death Knight. Oh, you forgot Warrior. No, so it's actually Demon Hunter, Paladin, Warrior, Death Knight, Monk, Druid, I think, would be the order there. That's purely preference. That's not, like, quality.
You need?
Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you for the crests. Yep, thank you for the crests. Thank you for the key. Yep, thank you for the Valor Stones. Okay, and thank you for the crests. Okay, quests complete. Let's go. I admittedly haven't played with hero talents for tank on Death Knight yet. Or Monk, now that I say that out loud. Or Druid. So I'm not sure about all three of those in terms of counting hero specs. Okay, they're done. So I might have time for this. Good luck, Disco. You're gonna need
Keep the gears turning. Let's get this done right. That works.
So this is the Awakening Machine. The goal here is very simple. Is this a negative or not? I know, low bar, but that really is the question.
Time to fix things. Watch my back while I commune with the machine.
I have done this as a tank. Demon Hunter tank. You see the waves? You already get the idea. So we got spam bots. Then we've got the corrupted machinists. Corrupted machinists are weird. Like, there's clearly some enemy design here. So the swarm bots, they do nothing. They're slow, and they walk up in melee to whatever they're aggroed to. Nice and easy, right? The corrupted machinists cast Purging Flame. However, if you interrupt them, they instantly die. So all you have to do is get up and interrupt them, and then move on. I'll talk more about the enemy design as we go. Like, you can tell some real thought was put into this place, even though it's extremely boring. Like, I've only done this like 3 times, counting this time because I was just so bored. There's nothing to it, really. This is just swarm bots, so we'll just kind of do this, this, this. And then they're dead. Then we have explosive bomber bots. They blow up. By the way, fun fact, since I'm a paladin and my shield interrupts, that also makes them self-destruct immediately. If this was about half as long, I probably wouldn't mind it as much. Yeah, I'm ready to continue. Let's
Measure
go.
twice. Watch my back while I commune with the machine.
Oh yeah, you can also heal the guy if you want to. This thing does a beam, which you can interrupt yourself. This thing, I suppose. That's true, Huthor. I will give you that. Yeah, this might be positive for enemy design, negative for delay. I don't know. I'll think about it. Like I said, I'll think about it, Spartan. I suppose that's true. I've only ever done this place when I'm relatively ungeared. Once, when I was, freshly going through this stuff. Once, when I, first hit 80. And then now. So this guy gives you this ability. The basic cross attack, kind of like the bombs all the way back in the gate of whatever in Pandaria.
Hope you brought tools.
Okay, this is silly. Here.
Measure twice, cut once.
Sure. Let's try challenge mode. See if this is any better. Oh, yeah, then there's metabots. These are interesting because they actually are there for you more than they are for the enemy. Oh, that's funny, Balloon Snow. I guess anything that interrupts the cast. Oh yeah, these guys make everyone else invincible. That's fun. Oh, these something else in this. I thought it was more than one thing. Ah, whatever. I'm not what you'd call an expert on this mode. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad they fixed that quickly, Uthor. That would be extremely irritating. That was actually pretty funny. Did you see how that lined up? Kind of like that, actually. Oh, me too, Pillagers Snow. I'm glad they pulled that forward. I guess this is our recovery round. If you play tower defenses, there's usually a recovery round. You know how it works. I mean, I do think there's a lot of potential here. For whatever that's worth. I think my biggest problem is the fact that they just... It's the one mode, which is fun the one time, and then that's it. I get the idea that it's probably a whole lot quicker when you're actually geared. Like, I'm not exactly having a time here, and I'm pretty undergeared. 539 overall. That's true. That's true, Xavier. Wow, that's an irritating thing to nullify. I can work with that, though. I might not have time for a delve tonight. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking what I might do is positive-negative this, because the enemy design here is legitimately interesting. But it is also kind of like, eh. Just finish being dead, please. Thank you. Appreciate you. Again, 10 waves, 15 waves. Something. At least they allow you to speed things up mid-run. I don't think they used to allow that. Don't quote me on that. I did this pretty early on, so I don't know. Boss time. Oh, because that's very new. Nice. I'll heal you. I do like when things like this, in general, let you go at your own pace. Let me just bulldoze it if I can just bulldoze it, either because I have the skill, the gear, or the interest, you know? Fail, that's on me. It's not, I'm not gonna get them out.
Let's get this done right.
See? Nothing. I did get a vault slot, interestingly enough.
Hope you brought tools. Measure twice, cut once. Hope you brought tools. Let's get this done right. Time to fix things. Measure twice, cut once. I've been patient. I've been polite. And I've been waiting to smash that smug expression off your face all day! Let's get this done right.
I didn't know I had a smug expression. What in the world? I feel kind of weird there. Like, why do I have a smug expression? Anyway, so let's see. So I can see our new Warglaives. They're very goblin. That is the Demon Hunter set. I recognize it. I'm still not sure if I like it. But I do like those glaives, quite unironically. Like, that's exactly what a goblin would make Warglaives. You'd be like, okay, I got this. All right, I'm thinking, double chainsaw. Well, but boss, where are we going to put the exhaust? No problem. Them demon hunters, they love them horn things, right? No issue. We'll make the horns the exhaust, and that way it can just keep on buzzing. Well, but boss, what does it use for fuel? Bell power. They fuel it with their own energies. Oh, that's a genius, boss. Put some like jagged looking stuff at the end. Demon hunters love that stuff. There's also a molten glove. Or excuse me, that's not a glove. That's like a bronze knuckle kind of a thing. That's why they pay you the big bucks, boss. I can just see it. I can just see the design meeting that led to that. Probably in real life too. Yeah, this you've seen some of this suit because you've seen me wear some of it on my evoker. Or rather, the male version of this suit. Looks wild on a Tauren. And then, of course, we have the color-coded monk setup over here. Very gray, red, and white. Great color combos. Love it. In blue? Where's blue? I don't see any blue. There's no blue. I feel lied to. What? Seriously, where's blue? I don't see it. Unless you're talking about the gray. In which case it just looks gray because of the lighting here. Missile-guided throat slitter. Why are there rockets that are currently lit? You know what? Moving on. We're just moving on. That's that. Oh, we can get that. We can get that. Why don't we... Where's my hearth set? Or tomorrow. I want to show off something very quickly. Do you know you can just fly up back to Dornogal, back to the Isle of Dorn? In fact, did you also know you can just take an elevator up? What you may also not know is there's these wind tunnels. You see these things? They're effectively the same as the wind gusts when you're doing races. This is brilliant design, honestly. There's actually another area in the game that has this exact same mechanic. Yep, the slipstreams to make going back up a lot quicker and less irritating. And in case you don't understand, really think about how frustrating that climb would be if you're doing it without any of those slipstreams and you're just slowly running out of stamina as you're going up and up and up and up.
The answers are here. I can feel it. Travel safe.
Okay. There is actually... Ah, right. This is what I wanted to do. So, a little bit of a PSA. Hey, look, there's a quest here.
Communication initiated.
Thanks.
May the Titans carve your path.
Alright, so... let's just turn that into set piece. So, Tier 2 set. Or Tier 2. Season 2, War Within set. The Aureate Sentries. Each time you take advantage... No, read correctly, Laura. Each time you take damage, you have a chance to gain Luck of the Draw, causing you to cast Guardian of the Ancients for 4 seconds. Your damage done is increased by 15% for 10 seconds after Luck of the Draw activates. 4-piece. While you have Luck of the Draw, Shield of the Righteous refunds 1 to 3 holy power and extends the duration of Luck of the Draw by half a second up to 10 seconds. Wow. Yes, please. I'm gonna go and do the other one too. Just get 2-piece right now. Like, that's already 626 gear. Of course, I'm just gonna go ahead and get that to Season 2 right now. I'm not far enough ahead that I need to worry about that. So there's my Season 2 helmet and gauntlets. Interesting looking. So now we have 2-piece. I'll take it. Pretty crap gear otherwise, but I got 2-piece. Oh god, there's a billion quests up here. Back to the depths. Back to the depths. Run. Actually, that's an interesting question. What's our upgrade look like right now? Here's what crests are.
United in purpose. We have slept long enough.
I need more Valor Stones. That's a problem I'm not used to having. I have about 90, it looks like.
Stay vigilant. Honored to meet you.
One upgrade just to get rid of the quest here.
May you find what you seek.
May we all find what we seek. Farewell. Be bold. Be true.
Yep.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Yep. Okay. We're done here. We're done.
This world is vast and wondrous.
In unity, find strength.
Sorry, just smashing through the tutorial quests here real quick. Don't mind me. And
there is much to be done.
That should actually be enough to go to 5, which it is. And there's the normal look, the normal color. Silver and gold instead of like the kind of red and gold look. Can I do that one? Nope. That's fine.
If needed, I will answer the call.
It is my directive to kick ass. Or, sorry, what? Yeah, you like my completely non-matching suit right now. Bubblegum is not part of my edicts. If the enemy in question does not have an ass, I will figure something out.
Begin speaking.
Grab that while we're here.
Communication initiated.
Rookery? Why does it have to be a rookery? Ugh.
Return if you wish to speak again.
I know, but like, it could have been any other mythic dungeon. You know, one I haven't done yet. I don't want to do rookery. Boss, how do I not do rookery? I got you an option, buddy. All you gotta do is use rockets. You're a genius, boss. This is why they pay you the big bucks. It is assault. I mean, this is War Within. We haven't had a bad dungeon since Legion. Sanitation duty. I don't know, boss.
Hostiles.
That sounds especially terrible, even for you.
Engage them. We want to preserve this place.
So since there's a non-zero chance, I'm going to get called away to dinner pretty soon. Galliwick said Chinese food from the heaps. Oh, jeez, boss, you sure? Yep, it was bad Chinese, too. Oh, no. Yeah, hey, boss, what's up? What's a Chinese? Don't ask questions. Oh my god, that's a lot of MSQ quests there. A lot of quests in general. Oh my god, my log is slowly filling inch by inch. And a lot of these are dungeon and delve, which is even funnier. I got Pandaran food. Well, Pandaran food's really good. Are these in order? That's actually a good question. So we've got Survivor's Guilt in Dornogal, Lingering Shadows in Dornogal, Surface Bound on Kahet, and then Hallowfall last. So, no, that does not, because this right here is the next quest. Yeah, I figured Carolinas. We can work up to that, assuming y'all want to join me for such a nonsense goal. Anyways, I'm gonna go and chop here. There's two types of good Chinese food. Now, this is gonna sound strange, but I mean this with sincerity. There's really good Chinese food, which, yeah, is legit. But that's hard to come by. Here in the States, what you usually find is cheap, good Chinese food. And I know that sounds weird, but a lot of you probably know what I mean by that. There's like... Usually it's a buffet, right? And it's not bad. It's actually quite enjoyable and quite filling. It's just not really Chinese food. It's cheap Chinese... No, not Panda Express. Panda Express is garbage. No, I mean like cheap Chinese food, which is good and enjoyable. And what's really funny is it's hard to find a restaurant that does either. Like finding good cheap Chinese, that takes some work. Anyways, tomorrow we'll actually finish off this zone and hopefully be able to move forward and to do some delves and dungeons. We'll kind of intersperse that as people are available. Either way, I'll see you guys.